Busch Light Studios.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here. Woo!
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
And this one belongs to the Razorbacks.
Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com.
Fans are amazing. It is lit down here on the sideline.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious...
Here come the students. Oh, here come the students. They're coming from the south end, and this one has been a long time brewing.
I have been waiting for this moment for a long time.
Judging by the sound of it, so has everyone else.
Hey, hold on. It's almost halftime.
Boy, it's a gorgeous day today. It's a great day to, spend the evening indoors, getting set for the start of the NFL season. We welcome you into halftime on a Thursday across ESPN Arkansas and HitThatLine.com. Phil Elson, Drew Barrett, Matty T. Will have Clay Henry in about an hour. He'll be joining us from way out in western Kansas, where he's out on, well, not at the moment, but he will be later on an elk hunt. Get some thoughts on Arkansas, South Carolina, Arkansas basketball. Reminding everybody, don't forget about us yesterday. Season tickets are sold out. It's something certainly to talk about as well with the basketball season coming up in a couple of months. Of course, you got a big football game, the beginning of SEC play for the Razorbacks on Saturday at 11 o'clock at Reynolds Razorback Stadium. And last weekend, not even just last weekend, starting on Thursday, college football took center stage, taking advantage of no NFL for the weekend. No Thursday night game, no Monday night game, no Sunday night game, no Sunday afternoon games. Of course, college football rules the roost on Saturday until December, when the NFL will take advantage of, no college football regular season games to throw some games on a Saturday. But now tonight, the NFL does return, and as usual, the Super Bowl champions are home, the Rams and the Bills, with a 7:20 kickoff on NBC. And I wonder about your excitement level of the NFL season starting today. It's kind of funny that a lot of people who just view themselves as dyed-in-the-wool football fans really don't care all that much about the NFL. And we all have our own reasons why. I know if you're a college football fan, chances are you pay at least a little bit of attention to high school football. Doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be paying attention on Sundays and give all your attention 3 days in a row, or maybe even 5 days in a row if you watch the Thursday night game, the Sunday night game, and the Monday night game. I know a lot of reasons why people in Arkansas may not have a deep connection to the NFL, or really just a team that they overall live and die with. I know we've got a lot of Chiefs fans in our listening area, maybe a few more in the last few years. We've got a ton of Cowboys fans all across the state of Arkansas for obvious reasons: proximity, success, and, the owner, of course. I know Steelers fans around here, just for the idea that, hey, sometimes we're bandwagon fans and people just sort of glom onto a successful franchise. Their father might have introduced them to that team in the 70s on television, and they just remain a fan of that team until right now. I used to know some St. Louis Rams fans. I don't really know many of them anymore. There might have been I had a guy in California I was friends with who grew up a Los Angeles Rams fan. He kept his fandom while the team made their little, 20-year jaunt or so to St. Louis, and now he's just, ecstatic that they're back in Los Angeles and actually did win their first Super Bowl in the city of Los Angeles. Should be a really good game tonight. You might have the front runner out of the AFC in the Bills going up against the Rams. And look, Buffalo is a road favorite today. Now, you know me, I was born and raised in the city of Pittsburgh as I wouldn't say dyed-in-the-wool Steelers fan, because my parents are native New Yorkers. My father had a connection to the Giants, was a Giants fan growing up. He loved watching Y.A. Tittle. Maybe you've seen that famous photo of the bald quarterback bleeding down the side of his head. It's pretty much like it was one of those photos that's supposed to encapsulate old school NFL football, because Y.A. Tittle looked like he was 58 years old. And anytime there's blood coming down a football player's head, I think people are going to get a little bit nostalgic about the physicality of the sport. He and my mom had dates at Jets games at Shea Stadium back when the AFL was a thing and before, Joe Namath took them on that great ride in 1969. But the parents moved to Pittsburgh in 1975, and they kind of, if you're going to live in the city of Pittsburgh, you're going to have a ton of Steelers fans around you. So I know a ton, thousands of people who view their NFL team, in this case the Steelers, exactly the same way that you view the Arkansas Razorbacks, as something that is in your veins, not just something that you take a deep interest in. I mean something that kind of defines you through and through. And that used to be a little bit of the way that I viewed myself as a Steelers fan as well. And it wasn't just the Steelers, it was also anything going on in the NFL. And at that time, I was a college football fan as well and paid as close attention as I could, along with being a big Major League Baseball fan, NHL, and even a little bit of NBA in a city that didn't have it. Living in Arkansas as long as I have now, going on near 22 years, and I have my own reasons, not just being, living in an area that's outside of the city of Pittsburgh and you don't really go to the games, and you can follow anything you want to in today's day and age because of the internet, basically. I mean, it's very easy to stay up to date on anything you want to stay up to date on with websites as prevalent as they are, as long as you're willing to kick up the however much money per month it takes to get there. And yeah, I had issues with Ben Roethlisberger that had nothing to do on the field, but I still feel, and I don't think ever won't feel, the connection to that team with that city. And I view Arkansas Razorback fans very much the same way. Almost all of you are dyed-in-the-wool Razorback fans who were taught to root for this team from probably before you were born. I know your mom or your dad that was probably whispering into the womb about the legendary 1964 champions and the Little Pigs and Frank Broyles and Lou Holtz and everything that went into Arkansas football tradition. There's a lot of NFL fans that are exactly the same way, and I kind of wonder, why do we have this? There is a split sometimes, and we have, Bill King comes on every Wednesday from Nashville Sports Radio. He's about as involved in what's going on in college football as anybody else. Doesn't pay a lick of attention to the NFL. He's not the only one, not the only person who's an expert on the college game that literally won't watch any of the games on Sunday. And I don't think it's not a political reason why. It's not anything like that. It's more of a distaste of the professional game, of the game being about money, and the game being about individual achievement, which leads to more money. And whenever I hear about reasons why somebody doesn't like the NFL that has nothing to do with the politics of a couple of years ago, it's usually about a lack of loyalty, that it's all about money, and it's more about the individual than it is about the team. Though I would say ask a lot of these players at the same time, like the successful teams, their players make it about the team as well. Do you notice a little bit of this now creeping into college football for very good reasons as well? You got to be able to take care of yourself before you can help take care of the rest of your team. And I think it's becoming accepted now that college football, look, I'm not going to throw the word professionalization into it. It's not quite professional yet, but it is certainly leading in that direction to where players have more choice, which isn't a bad thing. Players have the ability now to capitalize on their popularity. We're going to call it name, image, and likeness. Let's call it what it is. It's their popularity and their ability to, be front and center in front of a large group of people who want to know what that person is doing because of the team they play for. They're standing on that team and their connection to them as a representative of, just say, the Arkansas Razorbacks. Like KJ Jefferson right now, he is all over the place, and not in a bad way, for promoting himself, promoting Arkansas football at the same time, and really being the first modern quarterback for college football in Arkansas history. You could say the same thing about the rest of the quarterbacks across college football, because the modern sport of college football really just became modernized like about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, with the introduction of the transfer portal and more players moving freely throughout the sport, and now with players making, and who knows how much money it is that they're making, 5 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures in some cases. This is not a bad thing. What it is an appreciation of the labor that goes into college football. If we are going to pay, and I know scholarships do have a monetary value to it, but money in people's pockets is what they're looking at here. We're not talking about trades. We're not talking about, an in-kind donation for some sort of an effort. Money talks, doesn't it? And money in people's pockets and in their checkbooks, and to use my grandmother's term, my pocketbook, seems to speak a little bit more. At least the NFL has been upfront about this for quite a while, and college football is just sort of inching towards it on a piecemeal basis. Maybe sometime soon there'll be a little bit more clarity into, how players can make money, where the money's going to come from. The Big Ten is talking about maybe sharing some of the billion with a B that they are going to be making over the course of the television contract with the networks. Maybe the players deserve a little bit of that. They'll be taken care of quite well. They're going to have great facilities. They're going to have great locker rooms. They're going to be fed well. Money in pocket still speaks quite a bit more than those sort of things. And the money in the pocket, well, they're front and center about that in the NFL. It's not such a bad thing. 877-377-6963 to get with us on halftime today. And here's what we got going for you. Bob Holt coming up in the very next segment. Bob was on the SEC Coaches Teleconference yesterday, as he usually is. We'll get some of his thoughts on things going on at LSU, which, of course, is very entertaining right now, and his preview of Arkansas versus South Carolina. And Clay will join us again at 12 o'clock. Quinn Groovy from the Razorback Sports Network, and, of course, one of the great quarterbacks in Arkansas history, is with us at 12:15, and those are our guests today. So stay with us. Busy day on a Thursday. It's halftime. We'll be right back.
The manager specials at Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford will save you up to $10,000. Austin, they're parked right on the front row. It's the best selection of pre-owned vehicles in the area.
Hey, you're absolutely right. We've got a full lineup up there. I've got cars, trucks, SUVs. I got some minivans. But not only that, I've got a couple 3/4 tons out here. And one in particular, I've got that one marked down $10,000 off on a 3/4 ton. It's absolutely unheard of. If you haven't come by our store, swing by, take a look at our inventory. We've got a full lineup of used cars out there, trucks, SUVs, literally anything that you could be looking for, we're going to have it.
And many of these still have the factory warranty remaining.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got some low-mile units out there, so come take a look.
And Troy, as always, you get more for your trade here at Harry Robinson. Great selection, great values.
Hey, why not save $10,000 on the vehicle you're looking at and get more for your trade? Come down here and see us.
Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw. And you can view all of the inventory online at harryrobinson.com.
Hey, Arkansas fans. This is JD with JD's River Valley Restoration and Detail. We're hogs through and through, and we like getting dirty, but our cars need to look clean and fresh. And that's where we come in. Come and check out our brand new expanded shop at 5606 Towson Avenue. Or you can follow us on Facebook at JD's River Valley Restoration for new updates, including food trucks on the lot, car shows, detail courses, and much, much more. Give us a call at 479-629-7486. We're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. JD's River Valley Restoration, where we're making new relationships one vehicle at a time.
Attention sports fans, your favorite sports book, BetUS.com, is back for their 28th year of NFL action. With the industry's biggest sign-up bonus of up to 200%, BetUS offers their members the opportunity to cash in on all your favorite leagues, including the NFL, NBA, MLB, and more. They've also got hundreds of new casino games, including the coolest European slots, and their live dealers are waiting for you at the tables. You need a sports book with integrity and longevity, and you need to know that you're going to get paid. You need a sports book that offers everything, including live betting, MMA, golf, horses, esports, and all kinds of crazy bets. Call today at 1-800-79-BET-US. That's 1-800-79-BET-US, and they will walk you through setting up an account. Nobody in the industry gives better bonuses than BetUS. BetUS. Join now and mention ESPN Arkansas, and you can get up to 200% in bonuses on your first deposit. Nobody beats that. Head to BetUS.com and join today. That's BetUS, where the game begins.
This is Northside head football coach, Coach Felix Curry. I call 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
This is Northside head basketball coach, Eric Burnett. I call 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
Football in fall, what a great time of the year. It's also a great time to take advantage of York Factory rebates on high-efficiency HVAC products. Give us a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
The most demanding anglers want equipment that fits their lifestyle. Make G3 Boats by Yamaha your fishing partner today at Adventure Oklahoma and Auto Finders in Roland. Want to just relax and rejuvenate? Then a Suncatcher pontoon by G3 is just what you're looking for. Now is the time to get in on the 2022 year-end model clearance event at Adventure Oklahoma and Auto Finders through September 1st. G3 Boats and Suncatcher pontoons built to last. See them today at Auto Finders and Adventure Oklahoma in Roland. See inventories online at autofindersok.com. Your search ends here.
Stop by your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 and Rogers in Fort Smith, where it's happy hour all day, every day. Stop by anytime and try our $4 cocktails. Choose from a Bloody Mary, Cape Cod, Tequila Sunrise, Whiskey Sour, and more. There's also $5 glasses of wine, and Miller Lite 12-ounce drafts are always just $2. Get to TGI Fridays for lunch Monday through Friday for our $9.99 burger deal, available until 3 p.m. and comes with fries and a soft drink, tea, or Miller Lite draft. Order online for pickup at Fridays.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Follow the guys on Twitter at PhilElsonPXP, at Matt Travis, and at DBarrett36. Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
And Bob Holt joining us here on Halftime. And we always appreciate some of his time on Thursdays, sports writer extraordinaire at the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. Bob, the NFL season is beginning today. I'm kind of wondering a little bit in that last segment why college football fans sometimes refuse to watch the NFL. I know there's a lot of people that will watch a high school game on Friday. We'll watch the NFL game Thursday, high school Friday. All day Saturday they'll watch college football, and all day Sunday, and then get in the Monday night game. But there are those folks, and you know some of them too, I'm sure, who want to watch the amateur game, even though college football isn't really amateur anymore, and eschew the NFL. Maybe for political reasons that came up a couple of years ago, but I think before that, they might have probably not paid very much close attention to the NFL too. If you're a football fan, why not watch the game at its absolute best? I understand college football might be a little crazier, a little tougher to predict, but NFL football is, played at its absolute best, right?
Well, yeah, it's the highest level, just like, some people like college basketball over the NBA. I mean, I like college basketball. I like to watch the NBA, too. The NBA players are the best in the world, but I think sometimes their travel schedules are so crazy it dilutes the games a little bit. But, yeah, I mean, I tell you, it was weird. I think it was Tuesday, and then last night there was no football to watch. I remember thinking, wow, this is really terrible, because going back to Thursday night with college, you had college games Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. I think 5 days in a row you had college games. And so that was it almost like, oh gosh, there's no college games on Tuesday and Wednesday, but you can't play every night of the week, I don't think, although maybe that'll happen sometime with TV. But yeah, I certainly like watching all forms of football, and the NFL maybe could be more unpredictable. I mean, you can have lopsided scores in the NFL, but you very rarely do you see an NFL team beat another one by 24 points or 30 points or somewhere. It happens quite a bit in college when teams are mismatched. Doesn't happen as much in the NFL, but yeah, I think I saw somebody tweet. It was just someone, but I didn't necessarily follow. I'm not even sure why it showed up on my timeline. But I'd rather watch I'd rather watch a MAC game than the NFL. And I'm like, well, okay, whatever. I think I'd rather watch an NFL game than a MAC game. Not that a MAC game's bad to watch, but yeah, I think everybody should be excited the NFL season's back.
Well, I mean, I think it helps when you've got a team to root for and that you feel invested in, to be a fan of that professional sport. Maybe that's one reason why I haven't watched as much Major League Baseball in the last few years, because the Pirates are unwatchable. There's plenty of other guys to watch, but I want to have a rooting interest, and it's tough to pick a team to root for instead of a team to root against. I don't have an NBA team. Haven't for years, since probably the early 90s Celtics. NHL, kind of the same thing. You need a team to root for. Is that about the same in the NFL? You kind of feel like you need a team to root for, and then you can buy into watching and buying into the rest of the stories in the league?
Yeah, I mean, I've been a Packers fan for as long as I can remember, so obviously I like to root for the Packers, and they've been pretty successful. Wish they'd won a couple more Super Bowls with Aaron Rodgers, but at least they won one. And also you can root, like I love to root against the Bears and the Vikings, The Lions, I don't know, rooting against them almost. And then they may be better this year. I was watching them on Hard Knocks last night. You get your NFL fix that way too, watching Hard Knocks. Yeah, I think it helps to have a team, and then you could also root against that team's rivals. So you might say, the Bears are playing, New England or something. I guess it's hard to root for New England. Let me think of somebody else. So the Bears are playing the Jets. Well, you can root for the Jets because you don't like the Bears, so you sort of have a rooting interest there. And I'm kind of like you in baseball. I'm a Tigers fan, and it's been a pretty depressing season. I remember looking at the AL Central standings, thinking, if the Tigers were just playing 500 ball, they'd be right there. And I think the expectation was they'd do that, and they've been terrible. They've had injuries and guys that had to take leave of absences and fired their GM who deserved to be fired. And hopefully they'll get a good GM in there that can get things going. But yeah, every time I get a little interested in the Tigers, they'll do something, they'll have some terrible loss. It just makes me think, why am I even following this team? But, once they're your team, they're always your team.
Well, let's get into this Arkansas-South Carolina matchup. And this is I imagine this is one of the first battles of two Kirby Smart assistants going against each other. I know Kirby just coached against one of his assistants, and Dan Lanning, and that didn't go very well for Oregon. But he's got a small coaching tree. He's got a couple of branches that are facing each other this weekend. I think his connection to Sam Pittman might be a little bit longer than his connection to Shane Beamer. And I know that's also something that he talked about on the SEC teleconference yesterday.
Yeah, he's kind of like started, everybody's talking about Nick Saban's coaching tree, which includes Kirby Smart for a long time, but Kirby's starting to get his own coaching tree. The Michigan State coach coached with him, also coached with Saban, Mel Tucker. But, those two guys were both, Shane Beamer and Sam Pittman were both on the 2017 Georgia staff when Georgia won the SEC title, beat Oklahoma, where Beamer went the next year, beat Oklahoma in the Rose Bowl in the playoff semis, and then took Alabama to overtime before Tua hit that incredible pass, the second and 26 play. I think it'll always be known as. And I think you see similarities. If you look at the 14 coaches in the SEC, 12 of them got hired. Either they were head coaches at other schools and they got hired, or they were off. That's pretty much the standard. Usually you hire a sitting head coach, you hire a guy that's been a coordinator. And the two exceptions of that are Sam Pittman and Shane Beamer. Sam was offensive line coach at Georgia, got the Arkansas job. Shane Beamer was a coordinator, a special teams coordinator, which honestly, does not carry the same weight usually as a defense or offense coordinator. And then he was the tight ends coach at Oklahoma, I think it was. And then they both got head coaching jobs. And so Shane Beamer got asked about that on the call yesterday, and he pointed out that, what it shows you is, I don't think he's trying to run down offensive or defense coordinators, but what is if you call plays on offense or defense, it doesn't mean you're automatically going to be a great head coach. And if you don't do that, it doesn't mean you can't be a head coach, which, being a head coach is a lot about being organized, being able to put a good staff together, having a great recruiting plan, being a good fit for that school. And Sam Pittman's obviously been a great fit for Arkansas, and Shane Beamer had been just like Sam had been at Arkansas previously, Shane as an assistant. Shane Beamer had been at South Carolina previously as an assistant. And so those guys, I think, based on how they're doing, obviously it's a small sample size. Sam's in his third season, and Beamer's in his second season, but they've turned those programs around. Those are not easy places to win in the SEC traditionally. And so right now they look like two really good hires.
Mm-hmm. With Arkansas this week, I think one of the question marks is now that you have Dominique Johnson back, how is that ball going to be distributed between that running back room? Kind of, what are your thoughts, and how do you think it's going to be distributed? I don't think it's going to be as heavy as Rocket Sanders, but do you cut Rockets back a lot, especially after coming off of a 117-yard game?
Well, one thing we don't. I mean, Dominic Johnson did have the green shirt, the green no contact jersey off on Wednesday or on Tuesday, and that's a good sign. And that means he's getting closer. What Sam Pittman told us yesterday was that, he might. He didn't rule out. He didn't certainly say he won't play, but he didn't guarantee he would either. He said it kind of depends on how he does these next couple days, and it's going to be largely up to Dominic Johnson how he feels. But if you get him back in the rotation, obviously he needs to get some carries. And so I think Rocket Sanders had 18 the other day. I might be wrong about that. And a lot of it depends on how much Arkansas is able to control the ball and run it. What if they're looking to run the clock out, or if they really got the running game going. But I still think Rocket Sanders is going to be your lead back. If they get Dominic Johnson in there and get some carries too. But AJ Green, Sam Pittman talked about him really showing his speed the other day, and then Dubion, the freshman, had some very nice plays. Had a really good catch and run on a screen play. So we'll see what happens there, but I still think Rocket Sanders is going to be your main guy.
Mm-hmm. In your opinion, how well does Arkansas's defense match up against South Carolina? We talked about it for most of the week, how accurate Spencer Rattler is on the run. That offensive line, isn't up to even, I think, the SEC par. I don't think it's as good of a line that you saw against Cincinnati. On the defensive side of the ball for Arkansas, how would you attack this thing? Because there is kind of that conversation of, well, do you stick with four-man, which what we saw a lot against Cincinnati, or do you go back to three, put six in the defensive back, especially with the likelihood of Catalon and Slusher being back is still up in the air?
Well, yeah, they're obviously banged up in the secondary. We don't know exactly, at least I don't claim to know exactly what the situation is with those guys, but it's safe to say Arkansas is banged up, and they're having to mix and match, playing some, playing maybe giving guys that might start some guys who didn't start last week, and guys are going to play more reps than they did. But I wouldn't be surprised we'll see some four-man front. Cincinnati said that kind of caught them off guard because Arkansas had been primarily three-man front the year before, but I think they feel really good about their depth on the defensive line. I mean, you look at Jordan Dominic. I mean, he comes off the bench, and he's a co-defensive lineman of the week in the SEC because he had that big strip sack play and recovered the ball. And they look like they're Terry Hampton came, really did a good job, and of course they have their starters. So it looks like the line's deep, pretty deep. So I wouldn't be surprised if they go four-man line there. But they also might want to mix it up, give South Carolina some different looks. But I think it's important they get some heat on Shane Rattler because the secondary is banged up, and you don't want him to be able to sit back there and pick you apart.
Isn't it funny how narratives can change pretty quickly, really over the course of 1 week? The questions about Arkansas's defensive line depth became a strength after 1 week, really. I mean, we went by some of the things that the coaches talked about Terry Hampton, about Dominic, about Landon Jackson during preseason camp. You know, you don't really know until you get your eyes on it, on a game, and that's exactly, another thing that Sam Pittman and the coaches talked about. But it's the same with the wide receivers. I mean, you went into the offseason wondering if there's enough depth at wide receiver. It certainly appears that there is, and it certainly appears that the front four, who are going to be rotating in and out, pretty heavily, that the defensive line also is not just a strength, but a position of depth. Did we make too much of that after 1 week?
I don't think so. It might be different if they had played a lousy team, frankly. Like, no need to put anybody down. But you look at some of the teams in the SEC, and they had dominant wins, but you're still not really sure how good they are. At least I'm not. But you feel pretty good about Arkansas being a quality Cincinnati team. I mean, I don't know exactly what Cincinnati's record's going to end up being on paper. I think they could win out, but I think they're a quality team. I know they lost a lot of good players, but that was a really good win. That was one of the best wins in the country, that Arkansas had over Cincinnati last week. And so I think you can take some if you're Arkansas, you can feel good about what your guys did. And I do think they have good depth on the line. Good depth in that receiving core. Those were two areas of question marks. But I mean, there's a reason they brought in those transfers, and that shows you how much the transfer portal can help. And you look at those guys they brought in. Linemen from LSU and Georgia Tech and Arkansas State. I know Arkansas State's in the Sun Belt, but Terry Hampton, proved he's ready to play on the SEC level. I think he was everybody talked him up all camp. And you look at those receivers; they're getting receivers from OU, and Matt Landers came in from Toledo, but he started off at Georgia, and he really seems to be hitting his stride now. But he was obviously had a lot of potential, else Georgia wouldn't have signed him, 3 years ago, whenever that was. So, we didn't see the freshman receivers. It'll be interesting to see those guys because I'm sure they're going to have to play at some point. But I think Arkansas had one of the best wins in the country last week, and they're and they showed their depth, and they have better depth in the secondary. Not that it's good to lose guys like Slusher and Catalan, but they were able to absorb that. One of the guys they played, Brini, was a starter at Georgia last year. So they have better depth now than that they've had in the past.
Well, last thing here, and I want to get your perspective on 11 o'clock kickoffs. Sam Pittman has been upfront about trying to exhort the Arkansas fan base to show up. He says he knows that they will, but he still asks them because you could see the effect of the fans against Cincinnati. Alabama and Texas are playing at 11 o'clock too. Big noon kickoff on Fox. That's going to be the number one Big Ten game. Are our ideas about 11 a.m. Central Time kickoffs going to change, or do they have to change? Because it does seem that if the Big Ten's going to put their best game at 11 o'clock Central, the SEC may kind of answer, and ESPN wants to battle for that time slot too. And maybe 11 o'clock kickoffs don't mean what they used to mean.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm selfish. I like 11 a.m. kickoffs because it makes it easier on our deadline. I kind of like the idea of getting up, getting there, getting to the stadium. These games are getting longer and longer. I usually factor in 4-hour game, and with just the scoring and the replay reviews. I mean, I pretty much figure it's going to be a 4-hour game, and if it's less than that, I'm pleasantly surprised. So, and then that thing is the game's over, and then, fans obviously can go do whatever and watch other games, and we get done with our work and can go have dinner and watch other games. So I personally like the 11 a.m. games, and I think the fans are getting more used to them. Sam Pittman's referenced when Arkansas was ranked in the top 10 last year and went to Georgia at 11 a.m. kickoff. That was a huge game. Georgia was number 2 at the time. I think Arkansas was 8. And, Georgia had a full house and very raucous crowd. And he's kind of been talking that like, hey, Arkansas fans need to do what Georgia fans did. And I remember Joe Castiglione, the OU AD. I think I got this right. When the OU was renewing their series with Nebraska, obviously a longtime Big 8 rival, it was going to be on Fox, and he wanted a primetime night slot, and Fox wouldn't do it for him. And I think that was apparently a factor in OU saying, well, we're out of here. But he's going to have to play some 11 a.m. games in the SEC, too. And I don't think I know in the Chad Morris years, people looked at, all these 11 a.m. games Arkansas got relegated to because they weren't any good. And maybe if you're on C-SPAN or something at 11 a.m., that's not a good sign. But if you're playing on Fox or ESPN or one of the big networks, sometimes CBS has had 11 a.m. games. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. People just have to set their clocks, kind of their body clocks, and I guess their alarm clocks a little bit earlier. But I personally like 11 a.m. games, but like I say, that part of that's just my selfishness for deadlines.
Well, in my old age, I'm going to be up in time to get there whenever I need to anyway. So it doesn't matter if it's 11 o'clock. I'd be fine with it. And Bob, we'll see you there at Razorback Stadium Saturday. Thank you so much.
Okay, you guys take care.
Appreciate it, Bob.
Bob Holt, Arkansas Democrat Gazette, joining us each Thursday and giving us a unique perspective on the NFL and college football. Hey, you had some storms come through Arkansas recently. They blew a lot of tree branches around. Your vehicle might have been dented by one of these flying sticks of wood. Well, you need to get with Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair to fix it up. That's Michael and his family and his team. They've been in the area, in the community, for over 30 years. Not one of these pop-up hail damage places that then pack up and leave town. They've been there for over 30 years, and they're never going to leave, taking care of their customers day after day. So when you need to fix a dent on your car, make sure you get a hold of Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair. Stay local, stay with the best, and the name you trust. And find Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair on Facebook. Back with more halftime after a quick break.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Starting trouble. No one likes that. We'll get you set up for some stronger starts. You might just need a fresh charge, and we'll take care of that free of charge. But if it is time for a new battery, we've got replacement batteries that'll fit your needs, starting at just $69.99. You can learn more about our battery selection at AutoZone.com. That's what makes us America's #1 battery destination.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Claim based on data from the NPD Group 2021.
Hey, this is Mitch at Red River Ram, Dodge, Chrysler, and Jeep. And folks, this is my favorite time of year. It's Jeep Freedom Days. And at Red River, one thing we believe in, that's freedom. Like right now, you've got the freedom to order your car online at redriverjeep.com. You can custom build it and get it however you want. And you have the freedom to take the in-person experience and come in and order your vehicle right here from a salesperson or buy one right off our lot. So make that beautiful drive to Heber Springs or check us out online at redriverdodge.com.
Get the best value, service, and TV locally with personal service from WOW World of Wireless, your neighborhood professional Dish authorized retailer. Stop in and ask us about the Hopper 3, Dish's most advanced DVR that delivers a premium viewing experience. Tired of running out of DVR space? With the Hopper 3, you can record up to 2,000 hours of your favorite programming and watch your very own favorite channels and DVR recordings anywhere you go on your phone or tablet. Call now. WOW World of Wireless, 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474 for more details, or online at shopwownow.com. World of Wireless is located at 601 Church Street in Barling, next to Frank Rowe Furniture. That's 601 Church Street in Barling. Come see us at our new location.
Monthly equipment fees and other restrictions apply. Recording hours vary. 2,000 hours based on SD programming. Remote viewing requires internet connection and compatible mobile device.
Finding that missing shin guard. Remembering whether it's a home or away game. Getting the right kid to the right playing field on the right day. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple so you can worry about more important things. Like not being that fan.
Oh, come on, Ref.
That's simple human sense.
Visit the Charles Osborne Agency in Greenwood or call them at 996-2129.
Flu season will be here before you know it, and Law's Drug Store in Fort Smith has the regular and 65-plus senior flu shots ready now to care for you and your family. Law's Drug Store has COVID vaccinations and boosters available for ages 5 and up, as well as shingles, pneumonia, and whooping cough vaccines. Call 452-6116 and schedule your flu or vaccine shot appointment, or stop by Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drug Store, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Studies have shown that people who can count to 5 without saying 1 or 3 can also enjoy the new 2 for $5 breakfast deal at Hardee's. Choose from a sausage and egg biscuit, country fried steak, or biscuit and gravy, now for less. That means more made from scratch biscuits for me. Bite into the new 2 for $5 breakfast deal only at Hardee's. Feed your happy. Tax not included. Available for a limited time at participating Hardee's restaurants. Price of participation may vary.
What do you get when you pull into Tony's Tire Service? You get the best selection of tires for any car, truck, or commercial vehicle. Tony's Tire Service has Cooper tires and is ready to serve you to get you back on the road safely. They'll also get your vehicle fixed with brake replacements, plus an alignment with the best repair guy in the area. Tony's Tire Service has been serving the River Valley for over 34 years. Come let our guys replace your tires with Cooper tires and our service department to make sure the vehicle has the best brakes and alignments. Tony's Tire Service, 7200 South 28th Street in Fort Smith. Service you can depend on.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Hi, folks. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources, where it's finally time for our...
Baby loves me, yes, yes she does. All the girls out of sight, yeah. Says she loves me, yes, yes she does. Gonna show me tonight, yeah.
Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
877-377-6963 on halftime. Who is the Big 12 going after? Brett Yormark yesterday was at the University of Cincinnati, which of course is going to be a Big 12 school very soon, along with 3 others, and says they're looking west, going west, old man, and says wants to enter the 4th time zone with a program that has national recognition, one that competes at the highest level in basketball and football, stands for the right things, good cultural fit, blah, 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 blah. And I'm kind of wondering, so who's left out of the pack? Who's left out of the pack that might not want to join the Big Ten? Because, well, USC, UCLA, Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, there's pretty good football being played in the Big Ten for the most part. Maybe not at the level of the SEC. The Big 12, maybe a school like Oregon or a school like Washington might view a Big 12 league where who's the headliner in the Big 12? That's the problem. That's part of the problem here. There is no headliner.
Baylor, Oklahoma State.
Not a headliner. Never going to be. The SEC has its headliners. Alabama and Georgia. No doubt about that. The rest of the league comes after them. The Big Ten, they've got their headliner. It's Ohio State. It's not Michigan. It's not Penn State. It's Ohio State. They have a headliner. Texas and Oklahoma might view themselves as headliners in the Big 12. Other schools have other things to say about that. And a lack of success for Texas recently means, no, you're not a headliner there. They're not going to be once they join the SEC. There is no headliner in the Big 12. So it's almost like I don't know if you view that league as ripe for the picking to get into the college football playoff. But that might be where some of these other Pac-12 schools could be looking, because the competition isn't quite as fierce at the top level of that league. Now, I'm not here to say that Baylor isn't a good football program and Oklahoma State is not a good football program. But when have they ever made a college football playoff? Never.
Never, but both teams were pretty close last year. I think that Oklahoma State was right there. If they would have been able to punch it in from the 1 yard line down there in Jerry's World in the Big 12 championship, they would have been that 4th team. So they were really close. Baylor was a top 10 program last year in football, not too far removed from a Baylor national championship in basketball, which is, I know it's not the same as winning one in football. So I think that you still have some name power in the Big 12, but you don't have the name, is what you're basically talking about.
Right.
Without Texas and OU, that there's no more the name. I mean, you could have put Nebraska in that list. I don't think you could have ever really put Colorado in that list of the old Big 12. But once Nebraska, Texas, and OU are now leaving, there really isn't that big name. And there's not really that big name left out there. Yeah, you could go get Oregon. They've been decent at both college basketball and
how
football.
How big of a
for
name
while.
is Oregon now after getting throttled by
Not very.
a real contender?
I mean, realistically, Oregon has been a good football team, but it's been, oh, goodness gracious, close to 7-8 years since they've been a great one.
Yeah, I had to laugh a little bit after the blowout in the Chick-fil-A Classic. Leading up to that game, Kirby Smart said all the right things about the recruiting that Mario Cristobal had done at Oregon. Said all the right things about it. And then you remember what he said post-game about Oregon. We just have better players than them. Which was going directly against, and maybe that's not really going against what he said about Cristobal's recruiting there, because you can still recruit well and not be at the level of Georgia when it comes to recruiting. I think there's some truth behind that. I know there's also truth behind the idea that Twin Peaks is a fantastic place to watch the NFL kickoff tonight. They got the Bills and they got the Rams and 29-degree beer, and you can watch it all at Twin Peaks in Rogers, and you can start your season off with a win. Of course, they got the Razorback game on just about every television, along with other college football games on Saturday. It's Twin Peaks and Rogers, your sports headquarters. Kitchen bursts with made-from-scratch fan favorites, and the game is blasting from every angle. That's the ultimate game day experience at Twin Peaks and Rogers, or you can order online at TwinPeaksRestaurant.com. They can do delivery, or you can just pick it up right there at their location. More TVs, bigger screens, and scenic views, much more to watch at Twin Peaks. And something to listen to after the break is The Reset with Drew, next on Halftime.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources, where it's finally time for our end of summer clearance. We've been busy all summer helping more people than ever get the nicer, newer cars they need, and now it's time to flip our inventory. That's right, they all must go. Over 100 Rath road-ready cars, trucks, and SUVs, all priced to save you money now, with discounts up to $4,481 below retail. Plus, our friendly non-commissioned solution specialists are putting every deal together with extra for trades and fast, easy financing through the area's best local credit unions and the nation's best banks and lenders. If you've been waiting for the best time to buy a premium pre-owned vehicle, now is the time, and Rath Auto Resources is the place. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in our Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. But why wait? Get the nicer, newer car you've been wanting today and save up to $4,481 during the end of summer clearance at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Hello, this is Sue from the paint store in Van Buren. We are set and ready for all your spring and summer projects. We keep real samples of your Richards paint on file so we can be sure it matches every time. No computer can do that. The paint store in Van Buren. Color expertise and 34 years of knowledge outweighs all the competition. No other paint.
Video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned. Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building quality fencing and gates, is looking for quality people to join the Fence Man team. If you are a fence builder or have building or welding experience, apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man offers great pay and a $500 sign-on bonus. Join the top fence building team and get a $500 sign-on bonus. The Fence Man. Apply today in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man is an equal opportunity employer.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got puppies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports, contests, and events with first-to-market odds and lines. Find reviews and news for every league, including Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, esports, and even golf. BetOnline continues to be the top online resource for all your sports information, from live in-game betting, props, and futures. Head to BetOnline today or use your mobile device to join today and make your first sports bet. Use our promo code BELIEVE50 to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. That's BELIEVE, BLEAV 50. That's BELIEVE, BLEAV 50. Bet online, where the game starts.
Ed Sheeran used to sing in the church choir, but now bad habits reveal his desire. The old saying goes, sow a thought, reap an action. Sow an action, reap a habit. Sow a habit, reap a character. Sow a character, reap a destiny. God knows you can't overcome. That's why the faith that saves is trusting what Jesus has already done. There's nothing else you can say or use or do.
The inspection and comes with a Crane commitment. Win big when you come see Joe at the Crane Used Car Supercenter, because Joe knows. U.S. Highway 71 in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Surrey! Hitchhiked up to Memphis, a young boy in my prime. I thought that big old city could ease my Georgia mind. After just 1 hour, I met this southern girl. She said to call me the Queen of Memphis. Then she took me around the world. And I saw stars dancing on the water. I heard Elvis singing Blue Suede Shoes.
Find us on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith in the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs in Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
Clay Henry will be with us for the next couple of hours. Not right now, though, because we're going to go to Drew with our first hour reset.
All right, here's your first reset. Everything you need to know to make it through your day in the world of sports. The Razorbacks, they open the fall baseball season this afternoon with a inter-squad scrimmage at Baum Walker Stadium. First pitch is at 3:30. Starters have been revealed as Will McIntyre and Hagen Smith. All scrimmages are open to the public and media to attend. Razorback senior Trey Knox has been named the John Mackey Award tight end of the week following his standout performance in Arkansas's 31-24 win over Cincinnati last weekend. An announcement from the University of Arkansas. Ruth Cahoon and Bev Lewis were instrumental in laying the foundation of women's athletics at the University of Arkansas. They will be honored this weekend as part of the university's plan to recognize the 50th anniversary of Title IX, the groundbreaking legislation that ensures equality opportunities for women in athletics. The Razorbacks Athletics will celebrate both women with a special ceremony against Florida International on Friday, September 9th at Arkansas Volleyball, and on Saturday, September 10th, prior to the Arkansas football game against South Carolina at Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium. Aaron Judge, he hit another one last night. Here's how number 55 sounded.
High drive, left field, going back, cave, turning, looking, see ya. Number 55, double nickels. Yankees are on the board. It's 3-1 Twins.
That's right, still chasing that 61, which he still is on pace for, only 6 away from tying 7 from passing with 1 month left to go in the regular season. We have some day baseball today in St. Louis as the Cardinals, they finished their series with the Nationals today with first pitch scheduled in just about 20 minutes at 12:15. Phil, you put this up here. Wainwright and Molina will be together for the 285th time, tying the MLB record today.
Yeah, isn't that something else?
That is crazy.
And Derek Gould, who covers the Cardinals for the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, wrote a great piece. And this actually came out a couple of months ago, but he had pointed out the first ever meeting with Adam Wainwright and Yadier Molina took place in a Double-A game in the Southern League in 2003. Those who know Wainwright's career remember he was a Braves prospect, that he initially was part of the Atlanta Braves organization as a guy who's also from the area, if I remember correctly, and first-round pick, and he pitched to Yadier Molina. I mean, pitched to him. Yadi was the hitter. The first time they ever met, Molina hit a single off him, hitting for the Tennessee Smokies against the Greenville Braves. It's a great way to start this potentially Hall of Fame battery. I mean, Molina's going to go in, and he's retiring at the end of this season. I don't see any reason for Wainwright to retire. At age 41, he's about as good now as he ever was previously. Kind of be interesting to see what happens with him. But, yeah, what was it, 285th time that they
285
that they're starting a game together? And, yeah, by the way, Albert Pujols is in the starting lineup this afternoon for the Cardinals. And I got some thoughts on the Aaron Judge versus Babe Ruth thing that's popped up recently. We'll get into that in the second hour of halftime, which is coming up in just a moment or so. Clay Henry is standing by. And we've got 2 more hours to get through here on halftime. Got a call or a text. It's 877-377-6963. On a gorgeous Thursday where we are now less than 48 hours away from kickoff, Arkansas and South Carolina. We will be right back.
For a dependable, fuel-efficient tractor from a company committed to the future, choose a Branson tractor. Each of our tractors is backed by a 6-year limited warranty with models available ranging in horsepower from 22 to 58. You are sure to find the tractor that is right for you. Make sure you call or stop in today at the new location for Bush Tractor at 6100 South Zero Street in Fort Smith. Again, that is 6100 South Zero Street in Fort Smith. Or you can check them out online at bushtractor.com.
This time of year is hectic, and we know you have things to do and places to be. Southern Tire Mart can help you get there and save you money on America's most trusted brands like Michelin and BF Goodrich. Take advantage of our $49.95 oil change, which includes 27-point vehicle inspection. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 at exit 14 in Fort Smith today. For quality Michelin and BF Goodrich tires and the best in first-class service. Get where you need to be with Michelin, BF Goodrich, and Southern Tire Mart.
Come on along, head for the mountains of Bush Beer. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bush Beer. Head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains of Bush. Like beer.
Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2022. Anheuser-Busch, Busch, and Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Riley Farm Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedures for you and your family. From general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics, Dr. Bo Sparkman and Dr. Brogan give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confidence, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
Was your roof damaged by recent storms? Don't fall victim to out-of-town contractors and fly-by-night repairmen. Trust the local roofing professionals at Able Roofing. Call their local number, 474-0006, for a free roof inspection. Never trust something as important as the roofing system on your home to a storm chaser. Able Roofing, 474-0006, will work with your insurance company. Call now for your free roof inspection, 474-0006. Able Roofing, the hometown roofers.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
for today. Lots of sunshine. Our high this afternoon in the low to mid 80s. We're clear tonight. An overnight low in the upper 50s to low 60s. Friday, right back to sunshine. Our high in the low 80s north, upper 80s south. And Saturday, a chance of some scattered showers and storms. Our high in the 80s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Come Get You Some, Arkansas's premier off-road superstore. Call 782-MUD today.
It's fast. It's exciting.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3. Live from the Busch Light Studios.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here.
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
And this one belongs to the Razorbacks.
Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com.
Fans are amazing. It is lit down here on the sideline.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious...
Here come the students. Oh, here come the students. They're coming from the south end, and this one has been a long time brewing.
I have been waiting for this moment for a long time.
Judging by the sound of it, so has everyone else.
Hey, hold on. It's almost halftime.
Thursday halftime rolling along into the 12 o'clock hour on ESPN Arkansas and HitThatLine.com. Quinn Groovy joins us in the next segment. We'll be talking with the former Arkansas quarterback and current radio analyst about the matchup with South Carolina. Also want to see what his series record is against KJ Jefferson in Madden football, because I know they got a good one going. Talk a little bit about the Aaron Judge chase for the American League single-season home run record and kind of compare some of the major differences between what Judge faced, what Roger Maris faced in 61, and even what Babe Ruth faced in 1927. Got some talk about the basketball season. Of course, basketball season tickets sold out. Saw the Razorback social media for men's basketball yesterday reminding us, hey, don't forget about us. I don't think anybody is going to forget about us. And Sam Pittman also compares the transfer portal to a second marriage. Not like he would know what a second marriage is about. We also have Clay Henry with us, who is not way out west, but you're out west compared to being in Arkansas, that's for sure. Western Kansas, Clay, how pretty is it today?
I'm actually in Colorado now.
Okay.
I'm in Keensburg, Colorado, which is just to the east of Denver International in the Plains. Jim Daniels' house. He's from Fush Valley, Arkansas. Tell me, Drew, have you been to Fush Valley?
I can't say I have.
No, you haven't. Just imagine if you were at the top of Mount Magazine at the lodge and looking out to the south, and you'd see Fush Valley out there somewhere.
Well, it'd be absolutely gorgeous. I know it for a fact.
I'm in Keensburg, and we're headed tomorrow to an elk camp in the Rocky Mountains. We're gonna chase elk for a week,
and miss a football game on Saturday too.
I will not be. I've got satellite radio in the truck, but Saturday's the first day of the season, and I'm sure we'll get up at daybreak and head up deeper into the mountains, and there will be no satellite radio where I'll be probably hunkered down on a rock next to a tree or something like that when the Razorbacks and the Gamecocks kick off. So I don't know. I guess we'll be back in camp that evening, and I can listen to an SEC broadcast or ESPN through my satellite radio, and I'll get scores. But this will be. And we may have cell phone coverage in that camp.
Maybe,
but
you're not sure, right? Yeah. I mean,
I've been there. Now, I've actually been in this area several times to fly fish. The same kind of, if you're in the mountains, you've got elk and you've got trout. And I probably will. I brought my fly fishing gear, so I'll multitask. I'll hunt a little bit and I'll fish a little bit. And think about you, Phil and Drew and Maddie. I'll think about y'all often.
Well, we'll be thinking of you too. No, I'll be too busy watching the football game pretty closely on Saturday and helping out with everything on the broadcast. But I just want to kind of like picture, what might be floating through your mind too. I remember I did like 18 years of minor league baseball, and then my first year doing Razorback baseball games. Once the College World Series was over, and I didn't have any games to go call. It's like my hands started shaking. I suffered from like symptoms of withdrawal. I had plenty I could have gone out and go to the pool with the kids, hang out with them, go on a trip somewhere. But I felt some withdrawal just because I was used at that time of the year to always being at a baseball game. And just like you are used to this time of the year on a Saturday being at the Razorback football game or a college football game when you covered, the 4 schools for the Tulsa World. So are you worried at all about any withdrawal symptoms on Saturday, Clay, or are you just going to be too busy, being outdoors and living your best life?
Well, I think this is going to be – there'll probably be some anxious moments about what I'm going to be doing, traipsing around in the woods. And we've got horses. We'll have an ATV, I think. All of this is so new to me. That will be my focus, and I think I will have to be laser focused on all of this. This is muzzle loader. So, I mean, just all the working parts of this, of a camp, that will take my mind off that I'm missing a football game, I think. But there will be some quiet moments where I'm still in the woods, and I'm sure my mind will race and think about that. And there is not any doubt I loved my job and what I did, and I loved the games. The actual games I will miss. I mean, the pageantry. I mean, I like the bands. I liked everything. I like seeing, my friends in the press box. So I'll miss all that. Miss seeing you, Phil. I mean, I'm not doing the pregame radio anymore. I've done that for 30 years. But it's just time for a change. My wife pushed for this. She's been retired for 4 years. She could tell that the stress, the travel, that's the part. Going to SEC road games, I moved to Norfolk. That's 3 hours from any airport. So it just got down to where I just had to drive to games. I mean, you by the time you drive 3 hours to the airport, you'd be past Memphis and halfway to Tuscaloosa. Or, you know what I'm talking about. The travel is the issue, and I had a physical a few weeks ago, and this has been kind of 4 months that I've been semi-retired, doing some part-time stuff for you guys, and Hogs Plus, and working 1 day a week at the Two Rivers Fly Shop in Norfolk. So what I've done is eliminated everything that I thought was stress or not fun. Doing radio with you guys, that is fun. It is easy. I look forward to our talks, and that's what we have. We just talk, right?
Pretty much. It's the conversation. Yeah. Between three people.
And that's what I love.
Enjoy
y'all want
talking
me to
and everything.
tell stories. I can do that.
So then, what's next week? Then I'm not. You're not with us next week, right?
No. So we'll go into camp tomorrow, and then the season will start Saturday, and I guess it goes for the full week. And I guess if we kill a bunch of elk, we'll come home.
Well, Clay
Jim's sitting here nodding your head. If we kill a bunch of elk, we come home. We can't. That ain't going to happen, he said.
Drew Clay told me that he's going to be sleeping in his car.
I might watch the football game in Loveland with another friend, Jeremiah Gage, and see his son, who's like a grandson to me. I'll see him play football next weekend. So I'll be back probably to do radio with you guys on Monday. What is that, like the 20th?
I don't know exactly which day.
Yeah, but that's that week anyway.
I'm on the wrong month here.
Yeah,
it would
but
be
that's
the
kind of
19th. That's
the way
right.
it's going to shake out. And but it's this is I've always wanted to go on an elk hunt. Jim and I have gone on fishing trips in these same areas, but it's always been in the summer when I could take off. And as soon as I made the decision in April, I took the hunter education course and applied for Colorado license. You have to be hunter certified. In Arkansas, you're grandfathered in after a certain age. So I've never taken the hunter education test. I did that. and then applied for a license, and then applied for the draw, and I drew out both, a bull elk and a cow elk tags, which is very rare for an out-of-state person to draw out both tags for their first hunt. So it's just, I keep getting lucky, guys.
Luckier and luckier by the minute, man. Yeah, Drew, Clay told me that he very well may sleep in his truck, which I couldn't fit sleeping in my car. I know Clay's got
I have
a good
a camper in the back.
Yeah, he's got what's made
carpeted
for
with
it
a queen bed.
That makes a heck of a lot more sense than I think me and Phil sleeping in our sedan.
Sliding screen doors. It will be. I can sleep in the tent with a cot, but this will be more comfortable.
Yeah. Now, I
have lights, radio, satellite radio in the truck.
You're giving us a picture of what you're expecting you'll be like on Saturday. You're going to have so much going on around you that I can appreciate that you won't think about Arkansas football or college football at all. But the next time we talk to you on the 19th of this month, we'll see if we get a different answer.
I'll send you pictures.
Well, you always send pictures.
Please
I'm
do.
assuming I'm going to get a picture of an elk with a big, not a big smile on its face.
So,
You'll have the big smile on your face.
At dinner tomorrow night, I'm sure we're going to get out some fine whiskey, and I'll say a toast to all three of you guys.
Oh, appreciate it.
Well, that's
no, I will
save some of the whiskey for
and I
me
wish
too,
y'all
if
would
you
be
don't mind.
there with me, but it may not be your cup of tea.
Bring me back that Rocky Mountain High.
Yeah, the Rocky Mountain
Okay.
High. There's plenty of it in Colorado too.
Okay, we're
I
going to talk some
understand.
football. I'm sorry to bother everybody with all this.
That's okay. You
How
wanna know-
lucky is Clay stuff?
You know why? Because in the next segment, Quinn Groovy is joining us.
All right.
So we can do a lot of football talk with the one and only QB on the Arkansas
we got
football
John Denver
broadcast.
playing.
And there it is. Also want to remind you about Crabtree RV Center in Alma. Hey, it would be a great... What Clay is doing right now, this trip, that'd be a great trip to take your new RV from Crabtree RV Center in Alma.
Absolutely.
They've served the River Valley for 72 years, right there at the junction of I-40 and I-49. Heck, that predates the interstate. Right on 17 acres with a 26,000 square foot indoor showroom with an RV park service and parts department, all in one convenient location right next to the Cracker Barrel in Alma. That's Crabtree RV Center. Go to crabtreerv.com for more information. The quarterback, Quinn Groovy, joining halftime next.
Rocky Mountain High. I've seen it rain and fire in the sky. Talk to God and listen to the casual reply. Rocky Mountain High, Colorado.
Harry Robinson, Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw. The place to get your 22 Fords. Troy, you've got a bunch on the way, and you got a bunch on the lot right now.
Yes, we have several that's on the lot right now. And like you said, we got a bunch on the way. I think we've got 16 in transit right now. So come on down, take a look at what we've got coming in. A lot of this new inventory, it sells super fast within about 24 to 48 hours. So get down here and see what we have coming in. If it's something that you're interested in, or if it's the vehicle that you've been wanting, you can go ahead and put a deposit down on it. You can go ahead and secure your financing, and we can go ahead and talk about the deal and everything that pertains to that today.
I was looking at your inventory sheet. It's not just F-150s or Expeditions. You got a variety of models.
Yes, we definitely do. We've got 2 Mustangs coming in. We've got a Bronco coming in. We've got a Bronco Sport coming in. We've got a Ranger coming in. We've got the selection. If we've got what you're looking for, get down here. Like I said, put a deposit down on it. We go ahead and secure your financing and lock this deal down.
Harry Robinson, Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw.
Hey, this is Chad Warner, product manager for Booyah Bait Company in Fort Smith, Arkansas. The hottest swim jig on the Arkansas River right now is the Booyah Mobster. It was designed by the Muddy Water Mob, a bunch of river rats from Arkansas and Oklahoma, and it's winning tournaments on Dardanelle and Kerr like clockwork. If you're fishing submerged vegetation, water willow, lily pads, you need a Booyah Mobster to reel them in. Available at lurenet.com and tackle stores throughout Arkansas and Oklahoma, the Booyah Mobster.
Hey Arkansas fans, this is JD with JD's River Valley Restoration and Detail. We're hogs through and through and we like getting dirty, but our cars need to look clean and fresh, and that's where we come in. Come and check out our brand new expanded shop at 5606 Towson Avenue, or you can follow us on Facebook at JD's River Valley Restoration for new updates including food trucks on the lot, car shows, detail courses, and much, much more. Give us a call at 479-629-7486. We're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. JD's River Valley Restoration, where we're making new relationships one vehicle at a time.
Get a free Nest Hello doorbell system when you make the move to Dish right now with World of Wireless.
Call WOW now, 877-305-DISH, or go to our website, shopwownow.com. Get the free Nest Hello doorbell system, battery operated, self-installed, $150 value when you sign up and become a new Dish customer. Now, the unique thing about it is you can actually see who's at your door on your television with the Hopper system. So whatever TV, whatever room you have the Hopper in, you can see who's at your door, or it'll have mobile notification. You can see it on your phone or wherever you are, 24/7 monitoring over who comes to your door.
So you know if it's the delivery guy bringing the Amazon package or someone delivering the pizza, or it's your noisy neighbor that you just don't want to answer the door for.
Or your teenager coming in late.
All right, there you go. 877-305-DISH. It's a $150 value. It's yours free when you make the move to Dish this month. It's the Google Nest Hello doorbell right now from World of Wireless. 877-305-DISH. Get it free. Call WOW now, 877-305-DISH. Tommy Kraft here for The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building your next fence. The Fence Man recently built new gates for my existing fence. The whole process was easy, quick, and most importantly, affordable. Plus, 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available with The Fence Man. If you need a new fence, gate, or anything that involves a fence, call The Fence Man, 479-782-3936. That's 782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Calling all fans of flavor, there's something new at your locally owned TGI Fridays in Fort Smith. Fridays Fajitas. Fajitas you love in bold new flavors like dynamite shrimp, tandoori chicken, and the spicier whiskey glaze blaze Tex-Mex. Right now, get free chips and queso with any Fajitas order. Dine in or order online for curbside pickup at Fridays.com. New Fridays Fajitas at your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 and Rogers in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Surrey!
When I get off of this mountain, you know where I wanna go. Straight down the Mississippi River to the Gulf of Mexico. To Lake Charles, Louisiana, little Bessie girl I once knew. And she told me just to come on by if there's anything that she could do. Up on Cripple Creek, she sends me if I...
Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
It was good to be back in the booth with Quinn Groovy. Stood right behind him during Arkansas's win against Cincinnati, helping point out the tackles, the fumbles, the forced fumble, and the sacks and everything else for Chuck. And had a good old time. We get to do it again on Saturday against South Carolina, and we've got Quinn with us right here today. Hey, Quinn, how you doing? Thanks for coming on.
Man, I'm doing good. I'm glad to come on your show. I will say that this is your radio show is one of the shows that I love to listen to because of how y'all break it down, and it's a good one. I think it's one of the best in the state. So anytime you want me to join, I'm glad to join.
Did you guys get that? You can edit that out, turn that into a promo. Quinn said this, so we can sort of underline it and everything. And the check's in the mail, Quinn. Thank you very much. Yeah. Hey, we got a tough one on Saturday. And, look, I mean, Ben Bryant had his moments in the second half for Cincinnati. Missed some open receivers in the first half. Spencer Rattler feels like a much different animal and a better quarterback overall. Where do you see an edge in quarter? Does Arkansas have the edge with KJ? Do you think that Rattler might?
No, I think Arkansas has the edge with KJ. And I'll give you a couple of reasons why. I mean, it's the reasons we talked about all summer. I mean, your second year with Kendall Browse. I mean, KJ is maturing at a level that's really good for this Arkansas football team. I mean, his mindset and he has a huge ability to. He does not want to turn the football over, and so he's going to make sure that he's going to protect his team in a lot of different ways. But you can also add him as a dynamic runner. So Arkansas is in a good spot. KJ's always going to have great numbers in this offense, and even though he was 18 to 26, he completed 69% of his passes, 223 yards. He didn't stretch the field the way he normally does, and I think that's the next component to it. I think they want to be better at stretching the field. I think you'll see Matt Landers, Warren Thompson, Jaden Hazel will continue to mesh with KJ. And once they get that vertical game going, I think you're going to see Arkansas be a tough out. So if you ask me to pick which quarterback I'm riding with KJ.
Yeah, I thought that the use your term, the vertical passing game, the deep passing game would be something that's featured, but you didn't see it very much on Saturday, and I think KJ had his reasons for why he might have not thrown it deep. I want to ask you about KJ as a person, because you've been around him quite a bit. I think you've gotten to know him as a competitor too, as a Madden NFL competitor. We can look at everything that's happening on a football field. We can hear what the teammates are saying about him as a leader. You've spent enough time around him, I think, to get a sense of what KJ is like as a man and as a teammate. So what did you learn about KJ Jefferson one-on-one?
Yeah, no, he is a great guy. He's a family guy, and so he loves his family, and they support him in a lot of different ways. And KJ is a lot funnier. I think people are starting to see that he has a personality. I think the first couple of years, I don't want to say it was robotic, but he would just get the answer out and move on to the next question. But now I think people are really starting to see KJ elaborate, talk about things a little bit deeper, more meaningful. And KJ is he's doing that. And so I think his teammates really respond to him in a lot of different ways. He's one heck of a competitor. He doesn't want to lose at anything. And, I know that firsthand. You talked about the Madden thing, which is we can talk about that or not. But he is very, very smart, understanding what the defenses are trying to do to him. He's very, very calm. He's maturing in a lot of different ways. And one of the ways I would tell you is like that third and 9 in the fourth quarter when it was a time to close the game out. KJ has been working on footwork, throwing the football, all that type of stuff to be successful throwing the ball in that situation. But because he wants to win, that's the one thing I will say about him. He wants to win first and foremost over stats, anything else. He pulled the ball down and got the first down and continued that drive for Arkansas. He also did one thing that I thought was very different than what he would have done last year, which is when he ran that football on that third and 9, he got out of bounds. He didn't take a hit. He didn't try to run anybody over. So again, that's a mature decision by KJ because he's 6'3", 235, 240 pounds. He can run over you, but he doesn't need to show you that. So it's all about getting out of bounds, getting the first down, closing his team out. So his stats are going to come, but the way he's going to continue to get recognition in the SEC is winning football games, and that's really all he cares about.
Quinn, this is Clay, and I'm reminded of the great duel that you had with Andre Ware in Little Rock, and just what it's like to be a quarterback when the other guy. Now you don't play against other quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's right.
But there's always the idea that I'm competing, and Spencer Rattler is a name brand, maybe more so than KJ. What's that like, and does that motivate a quarterback? And it did for you.
Absolutely, it motivates you. But the biggest thing you've got to do is stay within your team and not you. I mean, like when there's time to make adjustments, you can't be like standing on the sideline watching that other quarterback play. You need to be over there talking with your team. So as long as you take care of your business, and you need to stay focused on your business. If you do that, you're fine. If they score, look. Your mindset is, and when you're dealing with another quarterback like that, we're probably going to have to score every possession. So I already know where my mindset is. I just got to be able to go handle that whenever I get out on the field. So Spencer Rattler is a big name. Spencer Rattler was a Heisman Trophy candidate. Spencer Rattler played for the University of Oklahoma and really didn't have a bad season and lost his job, and then came on over to South Carolina. I think you'll see Spencer Rattler continue to be more comfortable because he's not dealing with the Oklahoma fan base. And South Carolina, quite frankly, is not really expected to do much. I mean, so I think the pressure is low for him, and I think you'll see him to grow at a big level. But yeah, when you're playing against a guy like that, you know it's on national TV. You got to deal with that, and as long as you take care of your business, stay focused within your game plan, not try to do anything outside of that. And that's where KJ is. I don't think he's concerned about trying to outduel anybody. He just wants to win, and stats will be a byproduct of winning.
You know, when you hear coaches talk about the improvement that you make between week 1 and 2, did you realize that when you were a player, and do you see that possibly happening with this Arkansas team, that they're better this week?
Yeah, I think they'll be better. I mean, Clay, when you look at this game last week, I mean, honestly, I think most people will say that Arkansas had a lot of room for improvement. And the thing about it is, that's a great thing, because that means your program is moving in the right direction when you can, one, be the top 25 team that was in the college football playoff last year, and two, win it on a big stage like that and not play your best game. You know, those are games that, you know, in the past you'd be like, okay, yeah, we're going to find a way to lose this thing. But they found a way to win it, even though they were in that situation. I was in the booth. I never felt like Cincinnati was going to be a huge threat. I always felt like we were the better team, with the exception of when they got the ball on the 3-yard line and the fans showed up and showed out and pushed them back. And then after they returned that punt, and then Jordan Dominic came in and got the sack. So those are the two times I was really nervous. But yeah, this football team won a game against a top 25 program and didn't play their best game. And so now you can really go into that team room, get on the grease board and talk about all the things that went wrong, but still understand you won that football game against a really quality opponent. Cincinnati may not lose another game the rest of the year. Mm-hmm. And so we'll be cheering for them too. So it's one of those things where I think Arkansas is in a good spot.
And Quinn, you know, like you talked about, things you improve week in and week out. Football is so much different than other sports, especially, you know, collegiate sports. You know, in basketball, you have time to get everything to start clicking, and you want everything to be rolling right about late January, early February. That way you have the momentum going into March. In baseball, you have the non-conference. You have the first couple weeks of SEC play to really get everything locked in. With a sport like football, you don't have any time to waste. You got 12 games in 13 weeks. You better be as good as you are at game 1 as you are at game 12. But from the mindset of somebody who obviously played college football, when it is like a timeline of where you want to be, of where you're saying, all right, we're clicking on all cylinders, is it from week 1 to week 2, or is it more just, you know, as long as everything's clicking by the time you get to October, everything should be good?
No, you want to click game 1 if that's the case. I mean, you want to be able to click game 1, but a lot of times there's so many things that run through your mind when you have that first game. I mean, I used to always think about that as like, you know, I played the game and, you know, I was getting ready for an upcoming season, and, you know, you go through practices, you knew what you were getting ready to do, but things didn't really start adding up until you were on the field with the lights on, with the people in the stands and all that kind of. That first game is different for a lot of people. I mean, you got a lot of transfers that have moved over. You're really trying to get comfortable with all that kind of stuff. The first game is one of those things where you work out a lot of the kinks, and I believe that's why they say from game 1 to game 2. I know that's a cliche, but it's one of those things where you feel very good about it. But yeah, now you want to start it from game 1. But here's the deal: as long as you're figuring it out, and you still have something in your arsenal that's going to allow you to win, and to me, it's going to be that running game. That running game allows you to work through a lot of different things with that offensive line. I mean, you got the conventional run game with the inside zone, the outside zone, the G-power, all that stuff with the running backs. But when things get tough, you can also insert the run game with KJ. And so now you got those big offensive linemen leaning on you from a power standpoint, just leaning on you. And then all of a sudden, you want to run a zone read concept, and now that defensive lineman that's been fighting his tail off the entire game says, I'm not blocked, and now I got to decide, do I take Rocket or do I take KJ? That puts you in you go from power to finesse, and then all of a sudden, if you make the wrong decision, you're headed down a silent. Arkansas is going to always be able to run the football. I think that's a security blanket for them. So I think that there will always be in the game. Once you get this passing game going on the outside, being very explosive, then I think this offense is going to take it to the next level. But Trey Knox is a guy in the inside that's only going to benefit from everything else happening. And he had a great game this past week, and I think you may find him being the leading receiver on this football team by the end of the season.
Mm-hmm. And staying with the wide receivers on the outside, week one, did anybody really prove to you to be the clear-cut wide receiver this week? I didn't really see anything that really stood that much apart between them. I didn't think that any of them played bad, but one game in, who do you think is going to be that quote-unquote guy? I mean, is it going to be Top Warren? I mean, could it be Landers? Is it going to be Hasselwood like we've all kind of assumed it would be?
Yeah, no, I think that, again, I don't think that the outside passing game with the receivers was where they wanted it to be. I mean, Matt Landers had 3 catches. Hazelwood had 3 catches. Warren Thompson had 2 catches. And most of those were like short stop routes. I mean, just quick, get it out. But again, sometimes you got to take what the defense is giving you, and that's okay. Be able to do that, and that's what KJ did. I think that this next week you're going to continue to see them try to push the ball down the field. That's the next component that they really want to do, is be more explosive in the passing game. We had KJ on our podcast, the Razorback Daily, and he talked about how early on the passing game may not be as explosive as most people think, but we're going to continue to work through it. And when a huge component of your offense hadn't really been unleashed yet, you've been able to just line up and run the ball, do whatever you want to do, take the short stuff. That's fine. That's completely fine. That's okay. But, I'm not sure who's going to lead this team in receiving. I think you got 3 quality guys that can make some plays. I don't think they made the plays that they wanted to make last week. You got to give Hazelwood a lot of credit on the touchdown. I mean, KJ trusts those receivers in a big, big way. He threw that ball to Hazelwood for that touchdown. That was like in the Bermuda Triangle. I mean, it's like there's 3 Cincinnati Bearcats around him. But because he trusts those guys, and they all understand that if I can't catch it, I'm gonna knock it down. But that touchdown was great ball placement, even though it was in between 3 guys. Hazelwood did a nice job on the back shoulder, came up with the catch, and so I think you're going to see this receiving core continue to take off. I don't know who's going to be the number 1 guy, but I think there's going to be all 3 of these guys can be very, very good. The one thing when I was talking to the coaches, the one thing about it is I think all 3 of them will be able to cause problems. And when you can line up 3 receivers that can cause problems and beat you vertically, now the defense is in a bad spot, because I think in college you may have 1 guy that can cover, you may have 1.5 guy that can cover, but you ain't got 3 guys that can cover. And so once you figure that out and start getting confidence in all 3 of those receivers, this can really be an explosive offense coupled with this run game.
All right, last thing here, Quinn. Competitors are competitors. No matter what their age is, you move on from football, and there's other things you compete at: business, cornhole, thumb wrestling, whatever. And then there's Madden NFL football, right? Which is a whole other level of competition. What is the series record with you and KJ, and is there any smack talk that goes back and forth?
Well, trust me, there's a lot of smack talk. Now, we care for one another, and we'll talk to one another, and we'll talk about a lot of stuff. But when we line up and hit that entrance into the Madden, it's a war. And KJ's up on me. I hate to admit it. I do believe that I am. I did believe I was the best Madden player out there. KJ's up on me 17-3. I'm just gonna go and throw it on out there.
He's that good?
I think look, he's had some questionable stuff happen, and so we talk about it, and I'm like, man, how do you get that? How did you make that catch? That's crazy. That shouldn't have happened. I mean, there's a lot of gibberish going on back and forth. And we hadn't started. The new Madden is out now, and so we'll continue to play. I probably won't mess with him throughout the football season a whole lot, but we'll get it cranked up again, towards the end of the football season. But, yeah, he's up on me 17-3 right now. I'm coming back. I promise you. I'm not going to roll over and play dead. There's no way. And then once I understand exactly what he's doing, and you would think that I would understand it after 20 games, but So I'm just going to go ahead and give him credit for that. And the thing about it, though, is which is crazy, which a lot of people wouldn't understand. When we're on that headset talking to one another about, what I'm getting ready to do to you and what he's getting ready to do to me, we're actually playing football. And so what I'm doing from a defensive scheme standpoint, and he sees it, he easily can translate that to the football field. And so it's pretty cool to hear him talk about, you move a linebacker out, I'm going to replace the linebacker with a dart right behind you. I mean, it's those cool things that we have when we're talking about Madden that allows you to translate it to the field.
Yes or no, Quinn? Did you ever get a pedicure?
Absolutely. We talked about that too. Yeah, hey, look, we love pedicures. I mean, I had nothing wrong with a pedicure.
I love
them. Just kick on back and let them take care of you. I love when they bring out that little salt, rub it up around your calf and all that kind of stuff. I mean,
that's enough information.
Getting a pedicure and the salt in your legs and having them rubbed is better than having a 15% winning percentage against KJ Jefferson in Madden football.
You figured it out that quick, huh?
Okay. I did. Well, us geeks, we're stat people all the time.
Baseball stats.
Yeah. Well,
I'm changing that though. It's not going to continue. Trust me.
Good luck to you. Good luck to
Quinn,
you.
I just would say we're real close. I would never give the numbers up.
That's right. He gave us facts right there, and facts are facts.
Fine. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with throwing out those numbers because when I come back on, I'm gonna be able to tell you a different story.
Hey Quinn, we're gonna run. I really appreciate you hopping on with us today. Thank you, and looking forward to seeing you Saturday for Carolina.
All right, fellas, y'all take care.
You got it.
Appreciate it, Quinn.
Quinn Groovy. Right. It's always fun to talk with him, and we'll have that later on available on the Eastside Liquor podcast if you picked up on this a little bit late. Also, I want to remind you about Riley Farm Dental. You might have uncomfortable experiences in the dental chair. That's never going to happen at Riley Farm Dental. Dr. Sparkman and Dr. Brogan will make sure that you have a comfortable experience and you'll have a better life taking care of your teeth at Riley Farm Dental. They provide all the procedures, braces, implants, cosmetics, and you'll notice at the moment you walk in, Riley Farm Dental's right at 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A. That's the entrance of Riley Farms at Highway 71, 226-3500 or RileyFarmDental.com. We are right back.
Hey, this is Mitch at Red River Ram Dodge Chrysler and Jeep, and folks, this is my favorite time of year. It's Jeep Freedom Days, and at Red River, one thing we believe in, that's freedom. Like right now, you've got the freedom to order your car online at redriverjeep.com. You can custom build it and get it however you want. And you have the freedom to take the in-person experience and come in and order your vehicle right here from a salesperson or buy one right off our lot. So make that beautiful drive to Heber Springs or check us out online at redriverdodge.com.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Fansville, a college football utopia. Fansville. Where the lakes are stocked with ice-cold Dr. Pepper, and the autumn winds rustle with the sweet smell of football glory. And Dr. Pepper. It's a land flowing with onion dip, where even the food pyramid is shaped like a hot dog. Where every yard gained is a yard worth celebrating, and every celebration is beyond excessive. With ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Return to glory this season with Fansville by Dr. Pepper. Grab some today.
This time of year is hectic, and we know you have things to do and places to be. Southern Tire Mart can help you get there and save you money on America's most trusted brands, like Michelin and BF Goodrich. Take advantage of our $49.95 oil change, which includes 27-point vehicle inspection. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 at Exit 14 in Fort Smith today. For quality Michelin and BF Goodrich tires and the best in first-class service. Get where you need to be with Michelin, BF Goodrich, and Southern Tire Mart.
If you're particular about your lawn, when nothing else matters except those perfectly cut stripes, that is your defining moment when you know you want a Skag zero-turn mower. Simply the best, hands down. When no other mower will cut it, stop by Alma Tractor and Equipment in Alma and pick out your new Skag zero-turn mower and be the envy of your neighborhood. Come by today to see the full lineup of Skag zero-turn mowers at Alma Tractor and Equipment in Alma.
United Hail Pros is your one-stop shop auto body repair shop, specializing in paintless dent repair. Locally owned and operated, zero out-of-pocket with free car rental from Enterprise with a lifetime warranty. Got hail damage? Don't delay. Call United Hail Pros right away. 479-309-3998. That's 479-309-3998.
Fishing never stops. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle has everything from jigs to raincoats, Todd Huckabee crappie rods, Bobby Garland crappie jigs, and stay warm and dry with a River West rain suit, the area's largest selection of Zoom plastics, Flash Mob Jr., Kitech swim baits, Mega Bass rods, plus rattle traps, life jackets, and rod and reel repair. Find all the top brands and everything you need at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 1 mile east of I-540 on Highway 64. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
The most demanding anglers want equipment that fits their lifestyle. Make G3 Boats by Yamaha your fishing partner today at Adventure Oklahoma and Auto Finders in Roland. Want to just relax and rejuvenate? Then a Suncatcher pontoon by G3 is just what you're looking for. Now is the time to get in on the 2022 year-end model clearance event at Adventure Oklahoma and Auto Finders through September 1st. G3 Boats and Suncatcher pontoons built to last. See them today at Auto Finders and Adventure Oklahoma in Roland. See inventories online at autofindersok.com. Your search ends here.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett. Want to jump in the conversation with the guys? Call or text into Halftime at 877-377-6963.
Moving along on Halftime on this Thursday, 877-377-6963 to get with us. And we got Charlie on hold. Charlie, what's up? You're on with Clay Henry and the rest of the Halftime crew. How are you?
Dang, if you wouldn't have, you said Clay, and it like, now I got to be like almost perfect. I got to be the best now.
Best behavior. That's right.
Nice. I'll be nice.
He's not best behavior, but he's really good at, he's always been great at what he does, but best behavior too. You're right. Definitely. I do want to say, you guys are, Phil, I want to ask you something about KJ a little bit, and I think you might kind of agree. Clay may agree too. But, trust between a quarterback and a receiver always matters too, and timing. That takes time. I think a lot of times, with Matt, I think, with the speed that he has, it's hard to kind of, early on, it may take a little time to get that down. You don't want to obviously overthrow him because he's so tall, but you also don't want to, I guess, truly underthrow him and give a DB a chance to make a play on it. I think that's going to take a little bit of time. With them too. I'm really not worried about it. I'll say this about KJ. One thing that I've always said is something that to me is always special about him, and he showed it again against Cincinnati. When they needed a play, whatever it was, it didn't matter if it was a run or a throw, or he's been doing this throughout his career. I can remember the Texas A&M game last year. He comes back in after, A&M kind of cut into the lead, and he scrambles for a first down. He converts a huge third down. It's just like any time when they need a play, doesn't matter what it is, he finds a way. He's been doing it his whole career. 2-minute situations, he's unbelievable. And, we talk about quarterbacks at the next level, and that's one of the things I don't understand why people don't give him enough credit. Everybody falls in love with the quarterback that can make all the tight throws. KJ just doesn't. He can fit balls into tight windows, but he doesn't do it a lot. He doesn't put this team, in a situation where, takes those type of chances unless he really feels like he has to. And I think that's what makes him so special, because he keeps the team in the game from the standpoint, because he just doesn't put it in harm's way. Yeah, we want him to take more shots down the field, and I think he'll get there. But he's going to take them more so when he feels like he needs to. And I know the play when he was rolling to his right, and I think they tried to run Hornsby back across the field. He had pressure right in his face on that play, didn't he? I can't truly remember. I know he got hit pretty good on that play, but he's just not. He couldn't step into it. So I don't know what people expect him to do there, but I just think that's something that is special about him. He just doesn't put it in harm's way, and when he does, it's where nobody else can catch it but his guy, like the Hazelwood play. So, anyways, guys, I appreciate it. Y'all have a great one.
Appreciate that, Charlie.
Decision making.
Well, and decision making, and also the ability to understand what's important in the context of that moment of the game too. Sometimes you're going to have to force it just based upon the situation. And 90 seconds left in the game, down 5, and sometimes you just have to trust your receiver to make a play. I didn't see any of those situations this past Saturday. And otherwise, KJ makes great decisions. And one thing stood out too, Clay, that Quinn brought up. The 3rd and 9 where he ran it out of bounds. And that was after getting 14 yards. I didn't see KJ try to initiate contact as much. Maybe that's a bit of a step forward too. And that's also, understanding the context of maybe what a quarterback means to his team. I don't worry about KJ getting hurt that much. But I do know that, football's a pretty brutal game, and you just never know the way you're going to get hit. Go out of bounds, chances are you stay healthier.
No, I think that's right. And I believe that it's coached, and I think you absorb it as you go. It's just like I know that, Ty is absorbing stuff from Chuck on a daily basis. You may not see it on the front end. Do you see where I'm going? Mm-hmm.
I do. I'm picking up on this a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, but, there also has to be the ability to take coaching. KJ really, really can take coaching. Ty, I'm not sure about.
Maddie, of course, with a well-timed song here from the legendary rock band Queen. Those who are unaware, the word is coming down now that Queen Elizabeth has passed at the age of 96, Britain's longest-serving monarch, dead at the age of 96. So we'll have our thoughts for all of those in the United Kingdom. It's going to be something that a lot of people there have never experienced, certainly us too. All right, quick break here on halftime. We've got to reset next.
Robinson Buick GMC wants to buy your vehicle, and they'll pay top dollar today. Pre-owned car values are at an all-time high, and your car is worth more today than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Buick GMC, and they will pay you more for your trade. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they will still buy yours. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
We've invented a new messaging system using the crisp sounds of Bud Light. Crisp Code, Lesson 86. This is how you say, gee willikers, it's a hot one. Let's cool down with some Bud Lights. And that's it for today. Bud Light, crisp. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Riley Farm Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedures for you and your family. From general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics, Dr. Bo Sparkman and Dr. Brogan give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confidence, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
Elite Roofing is a locally owned roofing contractor. If you're building a new home or maybe need a new roof on your existing home, Elite Roofing can take care of you. Elite Roofing is known for their dependability and reliability. Just ask any of their satisfied customers. They are licensed and insured, and references are available upon request. If you need a roof, call your local roofing contractors. Elite Roofing, 478-8668. That's 478-8668. Elite Roofing, 478-8668.
Flu season will be here before you know it, and Law's Drug Store in Fort Smith has the regular and 65-plus senior flu shots ready now to care for you and your family. Law's Drug Store has COVID vaccinations and boosters available for ages 5 and up, as well as shingles, pneumonia, and whooping cough vaccines. Call 452-6116 and schedule your flu or vaccine shot appointment, or stop by Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drug Store opens 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Hey, where's the rest of the beer?
I'm probably out unless you clowns brought some.
Well, I've already had 3. Who's going to get more?
Order it from your phone.
From where?
Sody's delivers.
You mean where my girlfriend gets her wine and those cheese plates?
And if you don't want to drive, that's where you can order it. My free beer is gone.
Sody's now delivers inside Fort Smith city limits. Just order from mysodys.com or download the Sody's app and order from your phone. Sody's Wine and Spirits. Experience different.
Watch every Hog game this season at Joe's Grill and Cantina, your home for half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, Ballpark Nachos, 10-layer dip, brisket nachos, and Mexican pizza. And ask about Joe's tailgate packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
When you need to customize your ride, whether for work or play, check out River Valley Truck Outfitters. Full line of LED lights for your headlights to work lights, B&W hitches, toolboxes, ladder racks for all your work needs or play, grill guards to full front bumper replacements, full line of WeatherTech and Husky floor mats. Let River Valley Truck Outfitters get your window tinting on. Best prices and quality in the Fort Smith area. River Valley Truck Outfitters can get your ride ready on Highway South 71 on top of Rye Hill. 648-8855. That's 648-8855.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Hey, tired of the ESPN broadcasters? Pause your TV and sync up the broadcast with Chuck and Quinn on hitthatline.com or your ESPN Arkansas radio station.
Well, they call me the fireman. That's my name. Making my rounds all over town, putting out old flames. Hell, everybody like to have what I got. I can cool them down when they're smoldering hot. I'm the fireman. That's my name.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Follow the guys on Twitter at PhilElsonPXP, at Matt Travis, and at DBarrett36. Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
All right, we are fast approaching the third hour of halftime. We got no guests in hour number 3, so you can be a part of the show. 877-377-6963. Here's Drew with our second reset.
All right, here's your second reset of the day. More things you need to know from the world of sports, as Phil said before we went to break. Anyone just tuning in, the Queen of England, Elizabeth II, she has passed away today at the age of 96. In sporting news, though, speaking Wednesday during a visit to future Big 12 member Cincinnati, Big 12 Commissioner Brett Yorman told reporters that the league would be interested in adding members from the Pacific time zone. The new commissioner has taken a bold approach towards expansion, saying at Football Media Days, the Big 12 is open for business. He added of the Big 12's wish list a program that has national recognition, one that competes at the highest level in basketball and football and stands for the right things and is a good culture fit. Clemson's head coach Dabo Swinney, he got paid as he agreed to a new 10-year, $115 million contract today, the largest college football coaching contract by total compensation. The new enhanced contract runs through the 2031 football season and averages $11.5 million over the next 10 years. A story out of Lexington from earlier this week. The University of Kentucky police arrested a woman on Tuesday for trying to enter the property of men's basketball coach John Calipari. University woman Blair Connor and Lexington police were called to assist University police outside of Calipari's residence. The woman who was arrested outside of the gate was charged with trespassing and 6 counts of theft of credit card from around the country. Just kind of a weird story from Lexington. And the NFL season gets going tonight with the Rams hosting the Bills. Here's head coach Sean McVay on what it means to play in this Thursday night game.
You know, I think sometimes it feels like it's been an eternity, and sometimes it feels like it's gone in the blink of an eye. But here we are. You know, I know this week feels real. It feels like you're getting into that game preparation. I think it's awesome because, you know, sometimes I feel like it's the hurry up and wait, you know, whether you're kicking off on Sunday night or, you know, my second year, we had the Monday night second part of the doubleheader, and you just want to get out there and play. And so we're excited about the challenge. And usually, you know, if you're in this game, one of the two teams has done something pretty special the previous year. We know that has nothing to do with it, but I'm excited. It feels like it's come fast, but depending upon the type of day, that, you know, the time of day you ask me, I'd answer that differently. But I know this. I'm excited about watching our guys compete, watching them do the best, compete to the best of their abilities and play with a quieted mind, and let's go let it all hang out.
Rams and Bills kick off tonight and kick off the 2022 NFL season at 7:20 on NBC. And that is your hour number 2 reset.
You know, reading the story about Dabo Swinney's new contract, there's a $9 million buyout on Swinney if he were to take the Alabama head coaching job.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Saban just signed a 10-year extension too. But that's always kind of hanging over, you know, over Dabo. It's a $6 million buyout if he takes any other coaching job in college, and nothing if he takes an NFL job, which I don't think Dabo Swinney will ever do. No. I don't think he's an NFL head coach, and I think by virtue of his statements of his belief of what college football is all about, he doesn't seem like the kind of guy that would be an NFL coach. Although, you know, I mean, if he doesn't like the direction that college football is going in, and nothing's going to stop the direction that college football is going in, well, then why not take a leap at the next level and see what you can do with it? And I'll tell you why. Because I think Dabo Swinney is a leader of young men. I don't see him as a leader of grown men necessarily. He's a great college coach. I don't know if he'd work very well in the NFL. Then again, neither did Nick Saban, and he's the greatest college football coach ever. So go figure. Quick break here on Halftime. Calls and texts at 877-377-6963. And we're into the home stretch on Halftime. We are coming right back.
There's more to a tractor than just horsepower. A tractor also needs weight to get that horsepower to the ground. With TYM, a heavier tractor comes standard. Many of the TYM models weigh more for the horsepower than comparable tractors from the big names, and tractors that weigh more do more. See Bush Tractor at their new location at 6100 South Zero in Fort Smith, or log on to bushtractor.com to see how they can upgrade your productivity.
Kids are back in school, and now it's time for Mom and Dad to have a no sales tax furniture shopping spree. At Prank Row Furniture, starting August 12th through Labor Day weekend, Prank Row Furniture is going to pay your sales tax. That's right, sales tax paid on all made in the USA furniture and on all appliances. Family owned for 28 years, we have in-store no credit check financing and service after the sale. Come see us at Prank Row Furniture. Best seats in the house.
Norris Material and Supply Flooring Center now offers in-stock vinyl plank flooring starting at 89 cents per square foot. If you're a do-it-yourself kind of person, they have all the materials needed to lay your new flooring, or you can choose their professional installation. Whatever your choice, give them a call today to get a free same-day estimate. Financing available. For the best customer service from flooring to countertops, Norris Material and Supply Flooring Center is your local flooring professional. Check them out online at flooring.norrisms.com or on the corner of Wheeler and South Y, 479-289-7111. Hablamos Espanol.
Tired of spending all your hard-earned cash at the gas pump right now? Wheeler Power Sports is here to help you out. They have a giant selection of motorcycles and scooters to help maximize fuel efficiency. There are over 50 scooters in stock right now, with some getting up to 100 miles per gallon. Wheeler also has a great selection of motorcycles from the Kawasaki, Suzuki, and Kimco. Check out their full inventory at WheelerPowersports.com or check out their showroom in person at 901 North 11th Street near downtown Fort Smith. Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling.
Would you like to cut your utility bills without cutting comfort? Stay cool and save while enjoying the reliability and efficiency of a new Luxair HVAC system. Have your contractor call J&B Supply to hook you up with a Luxair system perfectly suited for your home. Luxair provides optimal comfort, energy savings, and lasting performance. J&B Supply, where the professionals go for all their HVAC, plumbing, and electrical needs since 1968. J&B Supply with locations in Fort Smith, Springdale, and Bentonville.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine. Our high this afternoon in the low to mid 80s. We're clear tonight. An overnight low in the upper 50s to low 60s. Friday, right back to sunshine. Our high in the low 80s north, upper 80s south. And Saturday, a chance of some scattered showers and storms. Our high in the 80s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Come Get You Some, Arkansas's premier off-road superstore. Call 782-MUD today.
Radio station.
KERX, Paris, Fort Smith. From the Bushlight Studios, this is ESPN 95.3. Live from the Bushlight Studios.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here. Woo!
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
And this one belongs to the Razorbacks.
Streaming live from HitThatLine.com.
Fans are amazing. It is lit down here on the sideline.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious...
Here come the students. Oh, here come the students. They're coming from the south end, and this one has been a long time brewing.
I have been waiting for this moment for a long time.
Judging by the sound of it, so has everyone else.
Hey, hold on. It's almost halftime.
Into the third hour, halftime on this glorious, sunny Thursday in the natural state. Be a part of the show over the next 60 minutes because we got no guests. 877-377-6963. Drew Barrett's alongside, Matty T alongside. We are without Matty T tomorrow. He is getting to go on a nice little trip, so we'll miss him, but he'll be back with us on Monday. And Clay Henry is with us out in the plains of Colorado for this last hour as well. Did you guys see the social media, I would call it a blitz, from the men's basketball team at Arkansas yesterday, an announcement that the season ticket packages have been sold out? I guess no surprise, really, with all of the hype leading into this season. It was a little bit, I mean, now you're getting the other athletic programs starting to, remind everybody that they've got things going on, too, around this time outside of football, which, of course, is going to suck up about 80% of the attention for very good reason right now. Baseball has their first scrimmage in the fall season later on this afternoon. Pretty exciting situation going on with more than half the team now newcomers, and the pitching staff is really where you got a lot of your returners. Women's basketball will really get going in about 5-6 weeks or so, and soccer is in action. I got the volleyball match tomorrow night against Florida International. That ought to be kind of interesting. Watch it on ESPN Plus if you want to see your brand new expert on all things volleyball here. And men's basketball, really, I mean, if you're going to look at the expectations or the hype level or excitement level surrounding any of the programs right now on campus, Clay, is it safe to say that basketball kind of tops the list in those things? Now, I mean, you're not going to have the same amount of people at the basketball games, and it doesn't get the same sort of attention necessarily, but, I mean, we've got high expectations for football this year, but I know a lot of people that don't see Arkansas, finishing first in the West Division or competing for a national title and still having a very good year. Basketball's another story, a whole other story. I mean, the expectations now are Final Four, national championship opportunity perhaps. And here it is, it's 2 months and the season tickets are sold out.
Yeah, I had some friends that gave up their basketball tickets a few years ago, and they are just sick. They are literally sick. Now, they have tickets, but they're not in the same spots. They've their priority changed and they lost their priority, so to speak. I got to ask you, Phil, you're going to do volleyball. Have you ever yelled, "There's a kill"?
I'm going to try to get that in about, probably it will be like 30 times. I could say that kind of a thing.
It's the only sport where you can talk glowingly about kills.
Yeah, and digs too.
I didn't think about digs. Yeah,
and spikes. I mean, volleyball's got its own set of terminology that I don't know. I mean, football's a spike, but that usually comes at the end of the play when it's already done. The spike is the big moment of the play in volleyball. So, yeah, this ought to be interesting tonight. I'm sure you'll be tuning in from the plains of Colorado.
I might be watching the NFL game.
Let me ask you about NFL here. I mean, I still enjoy the NFL. I don't watch as much of it as I used to. And I think more than anything, it's just there's only 24 hours in the day, 7 days in a week, and there's a lot of other things to worry about outside of watching 3 or 4 NFL games. If I can get my eyes on the Steelers on Sunday, I'll watch. Otherwise, whatever I'm going to be doing, I'm going to listen. It helps when you have a rooting interest in a specific team. What are you like when it comes to the NFL season? Is there a team that you have followed, that you've rooted for, or are you just someone that follows, former Razorbacks around the league? What about the NFL for you?
Yeah, so just remember this. For the last 30 years, Sunday has been a big working day for me because that's the final day of production for the magazine. We have to print it Sunday night because it goes to the mailbox Monday morning. So Sunday is you get up at 6. You do the last of production about 11, and then you proof the pages. They go out the door. I say out the door. It's disc to plate to the printer about 2 p.m. And then I crash, and I mean crash. And I mean it's usually a Sunday afternoon nap. A lot of times there was travel on the weekend. So my NFL football might be a little bit on Sunday night, but usually not. Usually it's dinner and to bed. I watch Monday Night Football more than anything else, so that will change. I might get to watch. I guess I followed the Cowboys the most because for years that was the game, regional coverage that you got. But you're right. If there was a Razorback playing on Monday night, I always would watch that and tune in. I'm a big fan of Hunter Henry, so I probably will watch the Patriots some. Seemed like Trey Flowers got picked up by the Dolphins. Am I right on that?
That's correct. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, so I might watch them because I really like Trey Flowers. I'm a big fan of him. And it's not so much that I'm a fan of these guys as players. There's just certain guys that you covered and that you really respected, like James McCann in baseball. I'm going to watch. I don't have any real pull to the Mets, but if he's playing on, a major league team, like I pulled for the White Sox when he played for them. And, like when Ryan Stanek is pitching, well, I'm going to watch him. And I'm going to watch the team that he plays on because I really liked him. So that might be my way of explaining, my pro connections, which are pretty weak.
Yeah. I found, Sam Pittman talked yesterday on his weekly radio show about what Sundays are like for him and the staff. And, of course, it's all focused on watching film from the game you just finished and preparing for your upcoming opponent, checking in on injuries for your players, and the days go pretty long on Sundays. I mean, you could hear in Coach Pittman on Saturday in the postgame presser and on the postgame interview on the radio broadcast, he was pooped. And I think everybody kind of felt that way. First week, really long game. It was hot. It was physical. It was tense. But then you're going to go through, like a 14, 15-hour day the next day. And you got to segment this day too. Stops working at 9 and recruits for an hour, a little more than an hour and 15 minutes, I think, and the entire staff does the same thing. So it's like we might think, oh, these guys are football guys through and through. They're going to watch some games. No. When football's a job and you're focusing on your team specifically, I don't know if you really watch, many other games.
Yeah, I think that he explained it that, Shane Beamer, even though he was on the same offensive staff at Georgia and they lived in the same neighborhood, and Scott Fountain lived next door to him in the cul-de-sac, but they didn't see each other when they got home because they'd spent 14 hours together. And I don't think we really understand the length of their work weeks. I know a lot of staffs. I can remember, I think maybe Bielema did this. Thursday night was family night, and what that means is they brought dinner in. It was catered, but the wife and kids were able to come and eat dinner for an hour. And that's the only time all week that they ate dinner with their families. Just think about that, the grind that football is. They wouldn't have it any other way. But they do, just NFL sports and all that stuff is just a blur. I think they might have games on in the background, and if there's a Razorback playing, they might like, hey, yeah, but that's not their focus.
Mm-hmm. With coaches and the commitment that it takes, have you ever seen a coach maybe go overboard a little bit with it? I mean, you talk about only getting to eat dinner with their family once, but I mean, how many of these guys routinely are sleeping in their offices?
Yeah, I think that's common, and I think it bleeds into high school now that there are some high school teams that probably overdo it, and but yeah, I'm pretty sure that Willie Robinson overdid it, and if you'll remember, he missed a game when he was defensive coordinator at Arkansas, and I think he got overextended on caffeine and probably tobacco. And when I say tobacco, I think he chewed. But it's there's some coaches that I think stayed up there, slept in their office, do those kind of things, and have overdone it. And I don't think that like Bobby Petrino expected Willie to do that. I think that's just some of those coaches. They just felt like they had to do it. That was in their preparation. And he brought that from the NFL. He was an NFL coach and then came to college. So they live and breathe it. And, yeah, I think that they have overdone it at times. And, I sit and listen to GAs, graduate assistants talk about some of the hours that they spend. And, I think that they learn, right off the bat what college coaching is like. And it's a good way for them to find out, do you want to do this, or is it time for you to sell insurance?
Sam Pittman yesterday, I found this really entertaining and kind of funny. And this wasn't about, the question Chuck brought up wasn't about, the effect of your job and the hours on your marriage or your relationships with other people. It was about the transfer portal. But listen how Sam Pittman compared the transfer portal to a second relationship.
They've already been through the fluff and stuff. They've been through the 5 officials and everybody told them how great they are and all that stuff. The second time, I wonder if that's how it is marriage-wise too. But the second time, it's about money. It's about, but I don't know. I've just had one.
That's right.
And I'm so happy that's the case. But, the second time, they're looking for something different. They're looking for stability. They're looking for playing time. It's just different.
Do you Coach had to look back over his shoulder and make sure he's going to be safe to go home. Looks like everything's okay.
Janie's at all the shows, and I mean, she's wonderful. So I'm sure she was laughing along with it, but I just found that kind of entertaining. I think most of the coaches are on first marriages, because I remember at a preseason event they introduced their wives, if they were there, to everybody else, and there were a number of newlyweds. But these jobs, and I had the same kind of job as a broadcaster in minor league baseball. You're married to the job, really. It's not just a job; it's a way of life.
Oh, the travel, yeah, Phil.
Well, the travel too, and even the hours that they're putting in, even for a week that they don't travel at all. I mean, look at the hours we were just talking about. It takes a special. It takes somebody that might be a little bit different, when it comes to expectations of what you're going to get out of a marriage.
Second marriages, you get prenups, right?
I don't know. I haven't had that one yet.
Well, just
keep that in mind.
Come to me before it happens, Phil, and I'm gonna coach you.
Well, I've been
married for 44 years. It's been great.
You just borrow the line from Rocky V and go to the break with this idea. Yeah, you want to have a prenup? Sue me for what? 877-377-6963 on halftime. I want to remind you about CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers. You know, they got them inside Razorback Stadium, the concession stands in the East Concourse, and 2 in the North End Zone. So, CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers isn't just a great place to stop on your way to Fayetteville, either in Russellville or on the Weddington location in Fayetteville. On your way up for a Razorback game, you can just get them inside the stadium. CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers. When all you do are burgers, they have to be the best. Sue me for what? Halftime's back after this.
Up to more than this cowboy makes. Besides, everything I ever had worth taking, they've already took. While she's living like a queen on alimony, I'm working 2 shifts, eating bologna, asking myself, why didn't you just learn how to cook? They give her the gold mine, they give me the shaft. They said they're splitting it all down the middle, but she got the better half. Well, it all sounds mighty funny, but it hurts too much to laugh. She got the gold mine, I got the shaft.
ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
The good old summertime is here, and Jelco Outdoors has all your fishing gear for summer trips at the lake or river. Check out the fishing kayaks by Old Town and New Canoe. Summer savings up to $300 off select model. Get ready for fall archery season now with a new bow by Hoyt, Matthews, Elite, and Bowtech. Jelco has the largest selection of box blinds for fall hunting. Come see us at Jelco Outdoors during the good old summertime. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Attention sports fans, your favorite sports book, BetUS.com, is back for their 28th year of NFL action. With the industry's biggest sign-up bonus of up to 200%, BetUS offers their members the opportunity to cash in on all your favorite leagues, including the NFL, NBA, MLB, and more. They've also got hundreds of new casino games, including the coolest European slots, and their live dealers are waiting for you at the tables. You need a sports book with integrity and longevity, and you need to know that you're going to get paid. You need a sports book that offers everything, including live betting, MMA, golf, horses, esports, and all kinds of crazy bets. Call today at 1-800-79-BET-US. That's 1-800-79-BET-US, and they will walk you through setting up an account. Nobody in the industry gives better bonuses than BetUS. Join now and mention ESPN Arkansas, and you can get up to 200% in bonuses on your first deposit. Nobody beats that. Head to BetUS.com and join today. That's BetUS, where the game begins.
Wheels RV wants you to seek out all the natural state has to offer this year. Explore Arkansas in a new RV from Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, or Alliance. All the best brands at the best prices. Enjoy peace of mind with our lifetime warranty on every new RV and a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping. So come on in and discover why Wheels was voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is Abby with Davis Floor Covering. Get your home or office looking its best for this football season with new flooring from Davis Floor Covering. Whether it's new carpet, hardwood flooring, ceramic, porcelain tile, or luxury vinyl planks, Davis Floor Covering can help you with all your flooring needs with brands such as Bow Floors and flooring supplies from Maupe. And let's get started on beautifying your office or home. We even do countertops. Be sure to check us out on Facebook. Davis Floor Covering with 3 locations to serve you: Fort Smith, Springdale, and Tahlequah. Call 452-4808.
Hey, back again at Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw. I noticed as I pulled into the lot, the sign, it says up to $10,000 off on the manager specials. $10,000.
I know it's crazy, but you know what, Tommy? I mean, we pretty much sold out of all of our manager specials up there last month. And for some reason, when you take $10,000 off of a vehicle, people want to buy it. So come down here and see us. We still have manager specials up there that are up to $10,000 off of the asking price. We are where you want to buy your next vehicle here at Harry Robinson Robinson Salisaw Ford.
Austin's here. Austin, just because you're out of the original lineup, you got a new lineup and a great selection.
Yeah, absolutely. Got a couple cars, mid-size SUVs. I got a couple minivans up there, and I think I got 3 or 4 trucks. It says it very clearly on there. It tells you what retail is, tells you what our price is, and it tells you what the savings is. You can't beat these deals. You got to come see it.
Get up to $10,000 off right now on the manager specials. They're right on the front row here at Harry Robinson's Salisaw Ford. 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisaw.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The Gimme the Hogs Chuck podcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Brought to you by Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. You can listen to it at hitthatline.com or wherever you hear your favorite podcasts.
Oh, get on.
I left my home in Norfolk, Virginia, California, home of mine. I straddled that Greyhound and rode him into Raleigh and on across Carolina. Had more trouble to turn into a struggle halfway across Alabama. Well, that hound broke down and left us all stranded in downtown Birmingham.
Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
And Clay Henry with us as well here on halftime. Aaron Judge, 55 home runs. It's a fantastic story. I saw on MLB.com, guys, Mike Petriello, who does a lot of StatCast stuff and analysis of things, wrote a really cool story that compares what Aaron Judge is doing with other big home run seasons. You know, 1998, 2001, 61, 1927. You know, guys like Maris and McGuire and Sosa and Ruth. And he's pointing out how the season that Aaron Judge is having is way different from any of those other seasons for multiple reasons. I mean, you look at 1961, and there were 2 new teams in Major League Baseball. They had expansion that year. The Mets and I think the Washington Senators came back that year. There was expansion in 98, you know, when McGuire and Sosa had their big home run chase. That's the year Tampa and Arizona got major league teams. And so that means there was thinner pitching that year than there was the year before. You compare what Judge deals with now compared to 1927 with Babe Ruth. And look, Walter Johnson was known as throwing the best fastball back in those days. And the theory is he probably didn't even throw 90 miles per hour. Today's athlete, let's not even say today's athlete. The athlete of 30 years ago was a much better, stronger, well-conditioned athlete than a athlete in the 1920s. And Babe Ruth, get a load of this. In 1927, remember, this is before interleague play. There was only 8 teams in each league. Ruth faced 67 total pitchers. Most of his at-bats came against starting pitchers. Like 85% of his at-bats came against starting pitchers. If you faced a relief pitcher, either the starter got totally blown out or he was hurt or the game got out of hand. Aaron Judge has faced 225 pitchers. That's like 180 more than Ruth did, and so often he's facing a new pitcher. Like Babe Ruth in 1927 hit 12 homers against a pitcher that he was facing a 4th time in that game. How many times do you think a major league hitter now faces a pitcher 4 times in one game? They don't.
3 times a year.
Aaron Judge has faced a pitcher in the same game 4 times, twice this year. So you're facing better pitching, you're facing more pitchers, a lot less familiarity than what Ruth dealt with. And I mean, this is just kind of fun to look at because train travel is, I think, tougher than air travel. In 1927, the Yankees traveled 8,960 miles. The Yankees have already traveled near 33,000 miles via air, of course. So, I mean, you put all these things together. And, oh, by the way, Judge has 55 home runs, 2nd place in Major League Baseball. Kyle Schwarber, 36. And this is supposed to be like a dead ball year. The ball has changed a little bit. Ruth also had the shortest porch in baseball down the right field line at Yankee Stadium. Judge is a right-handed hitter. He goes opposite field a little bit, but he's more of a pull guy. So, I mean, the more you look at this sort of thing, the idea that Aaron Judge is having, he might set an American League record. He probably won't set the Major League record. But this is a season that still stands out, even amongst the other seasons of 73, of 71, of 70 home runs. And the number of pitchers that Judge is facing, I think, kind of plays that out, more so than anything I've ever seen before.
Yeah, I mean, but you have to put it all in perspective, Phil. I mean, Judge has probably not been hung over as much as Babe was.
That's a very good point.
Fewer cigars. Way more hot dogs.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, I mean, he drank more whiskey than Aaron Judge. I just know he did.
So do you think that's a reason to actually be impressed? That's a reason to be impressed
during that time.
You were there in 27, weren't you? Wow.
I was, yeah. That's how old I am.
You are very well spoken for being somebody near 100 years old.
You know, it's interesting. I got to know Mickey Mantle a little bit during my time in Oklahoma. One of my best friends was his best friend, a guy named Marshall Smith from Miami, and got to listen to Mickey talk a little bit about that Maris season. I mean, everybody in New York wanted Mickey to be the one to break the record, and he was going to do it. And then, then he got hurt and missed games and then kind of, slumped a little bit. But it was – he talked a little bit about, what Maris was like during that season. People were pulling against him. His own fans, and his hair fell out. I mean, it was incredible. I think that there's a lot less pressure on Judge right now than there was on Maris, and probably some of the others the same way.
He's also carrying the Yankee offense. 1927 was Murderer's Row. It was Bill Dickey, it was Tony Lazzeri, it was Babe Ruth, it was Lou Gehrig. It's kind of Aaron Judge and Aaron Judge with the Yankees right now.
You're right.
A little bit different there. Well, it is really interesting to see these differences between today's athlete and athletes from almost 100 years ago, but no one's. That's why I guess the voice of the Yankees, John Sterling, sometimes will call it a Judgian blast, because everybody goes Ruthian, and nobody necessarily uses the player of today's day and age to describe a home run in the way that you do Ruthian.
I like when he says, "All rise, Judge and jury." That's my favorite when he talks about a Judge home run.
Yeah, Judge sees fewer fastballs than Ruth did now. Those fastballs are coming in a lot faster than they did before. And just the number of pitchers, too. Maris faced 101. Judge has faced 225. So, and no expansion, too. So you can make the case that what he's doing here, even I wonder how many times Judge has been hungover. Should we look at it as being more impressed with Ruth because he was such a cavorter?
Absolutely.
That's another thing about Mickey Mantle. You hear some of the stories about the Mick, and what did he tell Yogi Berra once? That he was so hungover, he saw 3 baseballs coming in when he was hitting, and Yogi told him to swing at the one in the middle.
It's good advice.
It's good advice.
It's good
from a man
advice.
that knows halfway decent advice, right?
Yeah. Real quick, I did find a stat that's kind of mind-blowing that ties in the big news around the world today with the Queen of England passing. Do you know who led the major leagues in home runs career-wise when she was born? It's a pretty easy question.
What year is it again?
When she was born. It's a pretty easy question. It was Babe Ruth. It was Babe Ruth. Do you know how many home runs he had hit up to that point? 310.
That's crazy.
She was alive for over 400 Babe Ruth home runs. 96 years is a long time.
That's wild. And I still remember, I don't know if this was an SNL skit or if it was just something else from, I think, the late 80s, where Betty White, the Betty White, played Babe Ruth's daughter, and she was telling funny stories about him as a father. She was not Babe Ruth's daughter. And I don't even know if she saw Babe Ruth play before. I'm sure Queen Elizabeth did not either.
So you know what the headline would be for that little factoid?
What would it be?
What?
It'd be the Queen and the Sultan.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
That is good.
That's a little bit of dad humor, but it's okay. It's also a walk-off joke.
Dad humor. I'm sorry.
No, I do it all the time, man. At our age, dad humor is good humor. Clay, I didn't mean that as an insult. It's the stuff. It takes some intelligence to understand these things. All right.
Why my mind works like that, I don't know.
I hope your mind doesn't change, because I don't want to know how your mind is working either. Quick break here on Halftime. NFL starts tonight, so get to BetUS.com for their 28th year of NFL action. And BetUS.com features the industry's biggest sign-up bonus of up to 200%. And it'll offer all their members the chance to cash in on your favorite sport. Sign up at BetUS.com or call 800-79-BET-US, where the game begins. I think it'd be pretty interesting to go back and look. How many times has the defending Super Bowl champion opened up at home as an underdog? Buffalo is favored by 2.5 at SoFi Stadium against the Rams tonight. And we'll come back with more Halftime after a quick break.
Take the last train to Pottsville. Now I must hang up the phone. I can't hear you in this noisy railroad station.
Football fans, the first Sunday of the NFL season.
Video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building quality fencing and gates, is looking for quality people to join the Fence Man team. If you are a fence builder or have building or welding experience, apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man offers great pay and a $500 sign-on bonus. Join the top fence building team and get a $500 sign-on bonus. The Fence Man. Apply today in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man is an equal opportunity employer.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sacalé, paper mouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports, contests, and events with first-to-market odds and lines. Find reviews and news for every league, including Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, esports, and even golf. BetOnline continues to be the top online resource for all your sports information, from live in-game betting, props, and futures. Head to BetOnline today or use your mobile device to join today and make your first sports bet. Use our promo code BELIEVE50 to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. That's BELIEVE, BLEAV 50. That's BELIEVE, BLEAV 50. Bet online, where the game starts.
Ed Sheeran used to sing in the church choir, but now bad habits reveal his desire. The old saying goes, sow a thought, reap an action. Sow an action, reap a habit. Sow a habit, reap a character. Sow a character, reap a destiny. God knows you can't overcome. That's why the faith that saves is trusting what Jesus has already done. There's nothing else you can say or use or do. Bad habits lead to doom. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
Sometimes wounds just don't heal, and when they don't, reach out to the Tulsa Wound Center. They provide chronic wound care using all the latest technologies such as hyperbaric oxygen therapy, shockwave therapy, skin substitutes, and more. When it comes to life and limb, experience matters. Make sure you are being seen and treated by an experienced and certified wound physician. Founder and medical director Dr. Lam Lee has been a prominent wound care and hyperbaric physician for over 15 years. 10,000 patients can't be wrong. Online at TulsaWoundCenter.com or call 918-561-6661.
Searching for the best UTV on the market but can't find it with any of the big name brands? That's where the Intimidator comes in. An American brand using American-made steel and built in Arkansas. Intimidator UTVs offer premium components as standard, unlike those other companies. Items such as doors, skid plates, heavy-duty frames, and comfortable seating, all at one comparable price. See why Intimidator UTVs are the best choice by visiting your local dealer, Horns Outdoor in Hot Springs, or visit hornsoutdoor.net.
Hi, I'm Mike Van Jr. with Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. You can count on my team to provide top quality pressure washing and exterior cleaning services for your property.
What all do you service?
Fence washing, gutter, or deep concrete cleaning for your home, commercial business, and more.
Do you have insurance?
Absolutely. We're covered with liability insurance, and we also use safe and effective wash methods, leaving your home or business looking brand new.
I guess I need to go to your website, mjmobilewash.com.
Or just give me a call at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building quality fencing and gates, is looking for quality people to join the Fence Man.
Round the lake tonight by my side. By my side. I'm not gonna lie.
Find us on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith in the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs in Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
And Clay Henry.to with us. I had to tell you guys about this. You know, I like messing around with people, especially those that I feel I know very well. Maybe they are in on the joke, maybe they're not in on the joke. But I pissed off all my Pittsburgh friends on Facebook the other day. You know, the stadium that the Steelers play is no longer named for Heinz.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and Pittsburghers take Heinz ketchup as like a badge of courage and supposed to love it and everything because the company's been headquartered there. But they're not even really headquartered there anymore because Heinz and Kraft merged and they got a co-headquarters thing and they've eliminated a ton of jobs in Pittsburgh, and now they don't even have the city stadium named for the company. So I couldn't find Acrisure ketchup in the grocery store. It doesn't exist. I did buy Hunt's, and I posted a photo of it.
Wow.
On Facebook.
Traitor.
Right on my Pittsburgh shelf on my bookcase over here that's got my Steelers helmet. It's got my Three River Stadium photo, got my Penguins hockey puck, got my old Pennsylvania license plate that hasn't been on my car since 2001. And some of them were in on the joke, not all of them, because they still think like the taste really like is that much better. And it's just a point of civic pride more than anything else. I just really enjoy, you know, having fun with those that I think I know very well. And I started to wonder, like, what would upset a Razorback fan the same way? You know, that you take a point of pride in something going on in the state that you connect to Arkansas football, let's say. What are the things that would tick off a Razorback fan the same way that I upset all my Pittsburgh friends? And I'd say, well, you know, one of them, Clay, you can confirm this or not. And we already get BE from Clarksville. Absolutely, man. Once, if you make the joke that the school has switched back to Pepsi,
I knew you were going there.
BE's the one that went there. He texted it in first and foremost. That was on my list, but it wasn't going to be the first. I saw in the Cincinnati game notes for last weekend, Clay, they had, and maybe it wasn't on the game notes, it was on their website for the link to the game notes. And they had it listed as the game being played in Fayetteville, AK. That's one thing that'll tick off a Razorback fan. Maybe not.
That's Alaska.
Exactly.
So I can remember going and watching my daughter play soccer against Oklahoma State in Stillwater. She played at Northeastern State, and they introduced the starting lineup. This is, you know, the OSU PA guy. And they introduced her as being from Rogers, Arizona. And, I mean, she went out almost immediately and fouled the girl across from her. And I was like, what was that all about? She says, I'm not from Arizona. I said, well, you shouldn't kick the girl on the other team for them. She didn't announce that. And she goes, well, so I just wanted to show them that, you know, I was tougher than any Arizona kid.
What about, Clay, what about referring to Arkansas, not a person from Arkansas, but the state or the team as Arky? I know a lot of people in the state of Arkansas that are not big fans of that.
It's kind of funny. If you go back and you read a lot of my dad's stories, the 64 Arkansas-Texas game, I believe that in his second paragraph he said, Arkies everywhere have their chest out. He used that phrase, Arkies, in kind of as a badge of honor. And I mean, some people consider that kind of a slur, but I don't think. It just depends on what era you're from. Now, I will say, the Pepsi-Coke thing, I heard yesterday a really good argument from Mike Neighbors, and you'll probably understand this. You've been around Mike, but he said, "We're so glad that we're a Coke campus now." He says, "How can you have, a bourbon and Pepsi?"
That's right. Yeah, I know him well enough. It would be about what you mix with Crown Royal. And
it's Coke.
There's no doubt Coke is a lot better.
Yeah, and just so you know, I've got a purple box in my truck that's got something nice to take up in the mountains.
And I know you opened a Coke Zero earlier.
I did.
You're not going to put Coke Zero in with that, right? You're going to put the real thing?
It might just be over ice.
All right. What about, and this is another one I hear, and this actually bugs me a little bit, because the hog calling the hogs, doesn't start with an A. It's just a woo, right? And you still hear, this is what some Razorback
fans.
The
yelps and the different stuff, yeah.
That seems
I don't get all caught up in that.
You don't get all caught. Aaron in Clarksville loves being an Arkie. But I meant the actual name of calling Arkansas Arkie or the team Arkie. Here's one. JC's right about this. Anybody that calls Arkansas Arkansas, and they're never going to.
That was Les Miles.
But
yeah,
but people from Arkansas are called Arkansans.
Yes, but it's
not.
I
mean, I get it. I do get it. That's the right way. You say it the way it's supposed to. But for anybody outside of Arkansas that's never been, maybe that's a simple miscommunication, simple misunderstand.
They used to say porkers in the headlines of the papers.
Yeah, they did.
Porkers win. I mean, it was in the Arkansas Gazette. I don't know when that changed, but it did somewhere in the late 60s, I think.
Yeah, we talked about that about a year ago. I think I remember I had found some newspaper, and I wanted to get it going back up again, and everybody on the text line and called in shot me down. So, yeah, I really wanted the Porkers to make a comeback.
I don't think so. I mean, I think that's probably that one's probably buried and rest in peace.
Now, how about this one? Zach Arns is good at this one, too, because he's got his reasons for feeling exactly what it is I'm about to say here. But he also knows, I think anybody in the state knows, if you communicate this opinion, you're probably going to get a lot of blowback, and not just from someone like Ty Richardson. Communicate an opinion that Darren McFadden should never have won the Heisman Trophy either in 2006 or 2007, and then make a case for Tim Tebow and Troy Smith.
Zach can rot in hell.
I've heard him go at this one before. He knows what he's getting into when he brings that up.
I think that he knows better. I think he's just, picking at scabs and then kind of sitting back and letting, like, okay, here's a show that's going to take care of itself. We're going to, we've got a ready-made deal, but that's wrong. And he was the best player, and I think even Tebow knows it.
Well, I got to ask him about that at some point. I got a text in here that says ketchup is overrated anyway. Who cares? Anybody here hate ketchup? I'm a big fan of
ketchup.
I
like
ketchup.
57 guy. I mean, I'm going to go to that first.
Now, I can do some Heinz 57. Now, and if I posted a photo of Heinz 57, all my Facebook Pittsburgh friends would be totally fired up about it. And I'm really just trying to, have fun with them and tick them off. So what would I put up instead of Heinz 57? Texas Best, Baby Ray, Sweet Baby Ray's. I don't know.
It's all barbecue sauce, yeah.
Yeah.
One that I
like me some Worcestershire too.
One thing that I realized, especially when I first moved here, that made a lot of people upset with me, calling anything south of the tunnel Northwest Arkansas. Apparently, if you're from north of the tunnel, it's a big deal. Sorry.
I think that's called South Northwest Arkansas.
I mean, I look at a map, but no, apparently.
They're in the River Valley.
That's exactly. I'm now in the River Valley. Anything north of the tunnel is Northwest Arkansas. I've learned that now.
Hey, by the way, for those who are wondering, we're not interested in actually pissing you off. We just wanted to know what would do it to you. We're not going to bring... maybe Drew will. I don't know.
That ain't us.
Yeah, that ain't us. That ain't us. We are, however, going to
we're pointing our fingers right at Zach.
Have fun at 2 o'clock. I have a feeling he'll bring this up or something
It's
like that.
okay. Yeah, and I'll be somewhere where I can't hear it.
Get to the Booyah Bait Company. Booyah Bait Company making the hottest swimming jig on the Arkansas River right now, the Booyah Mobster. Designed by Muddy Water Mob locally across Arkansas and Oklahoma. It's won tons of tournaments on lakes all throughout the listening area like clockwork. So if you're fishing submerged or matted grass, make sure you've got the Booyah Mobster to reel them in, and you'll find it at Learnet.com and tackle stores all throughout our listening area. The Booyah Mobster. Quick break on halftime. We wrap things up with another reset after the break.
Ride without compromise. CF Moto's brand new U-Force 1000 XL with 2 3-person bench seats to haul more rear ends as you haul butt. Auto Finders in Adventure, Oklahoma has the perfect CF Moto for any road you choose. Get some serious mud on the tires with aluminum rims, custom paint, power steering, and a 3,000-pound winch. No wonder the CF Moto is Auto Finders' best-kept dirty little secret. Ride without compromise at Auto Finders in Adventure, Oklahoma in Roland. Visit a complete list of inventories online at autofindersok.com. Your search ends here.
Watch every Hog game this season at Joe's Grill and Cantina, your home for half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, Ballpark Nachos, 10-layer dip, brisket nachos, and Mexican pizza. And ask about Joe's tailgate packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
When it comes to your vehicle dent repairs, you want a local professional that you can trust. Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair is your place. Michael, his family, and team have been in the community for over 30 years and are the best in the business. When all the other pop-up hail damage places have packed up and left town, Littleton's is still here taking care of your vehicle every day. Stay local. Stay with the best. Stay with the name you know and trust. Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair. Highway 112 off I-540 in Pensacola.
Needing your roof repaired? Ramos Roofing is a local company that has over 25 years of experience specializing in your residential or commercial roofing needs in the Oklahoma area. Ramos Roofing, a company you can trust, offering discounts to senior citizens, law enforcement, or healthcare workers and assists in your insurance claims. Ramos Roofing, standing behind their work so you can stand under it. Call 479-420-9903. That's 420-9903. Ramos Roofing, working with you to build a better home.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
Today is the day. After countless hours of research, cutting back expenses, and 9 months of anxiously waiting for her, today is the day you finally bring home your new car. It's also the day to protect her with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
Ask Shelter agents Brandon Zimmerman or Chris Dooley about a free insurance review.
Show your hometown pride with a School Spirit debit card from First Star Bank. Each time you make a purchase with your School Spirit debit card, First Star will make a donation to your school district. You make a purchase, they make a donation. Everyone wins. Support your school with First Star Bank's School Spirit debit card. First Star Bank has donated over $100,000 to local schools through the School Spirit program. Debit cards may be ordered online at firststar.bank.
Are you an experienced concrete finisher? Do you want to make the highest salary in the area? Do you want to get paid bonuses for your good work? Then Forsgren is for you. Apply now from any device, anytime, anywhere at GoForsgren.com. GoForsgren.com. Apply now at GoForsgren.com. Are you an experienced dump truck driver? Do you want to make the highest salary in the area? Do you want to get paid bonuses for your good work? Then Forsgren is for you. Apply now from any device, anytime, anywhere at GoForsgren.com. GoForsgren.com. Apply now at GoForsgren.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Hey, tired of the ESPN broadcasters? Pause your TV and sync up the broadcast with Chuck and Quinn on hitthatline.com or your ESPN Arkansas radio station.
Come on, boys. Let's wad up and scrub it off. Let's wad up and scrub it off. Party rock is in the house tonight. Everybody just have a good time. And we gon' make you lose your mind. Everybody just have a good time. Party rock is in the house tonight.
Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
There is another version of a hit song. Matty T is gonna find it out there. And all of you are just dancing like crazy right now, and that song really starts to hit hard, don't you?
Well, you know I'm excited, Phil, because I'm going to see these guys tomorrow.
I know it. We don't have Matty with us tomorrow.
This is the Cleverleys.
Oh, I've heard the Cleverleys.
They're going to be in they're going to be in Wagner, Oklahoma tomorrow. So
it's as much a comedy show as it is bluegrass.
Can you bootleg some stuff for us, Matty?
You know I will.
I know you will. Got that right. Well, we'll look forward to having you back on Monday. Matty will have the latest edition of the Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast out once we get into the 2 o'clock hour. And let's go to Drew for our final reset of the afternoon.
All right, final reset of the afternoon. What are we watching tonight? Of course, we're watching NFL football as the 2022 season begins with the Los Angeles Rams hosting the Buffalo Bills in SoFi Stadium. Kickoff is at 7:20 on NBC. So you've got about 5 hours to make any changes to those fantasy rosters to get them locked in for week 1 of the season. Here's Josh Allen on starting the NFL season in LA and says it's just another game.
Yeah, I mean, it's just another game. We understand there's going to be a lot of people watching. It's an anticipated wait to the NFL season. We're excited for it, and I know the Rams are excited for it. You know, going to play the defending Super Bowl champs and, you know, watching them raise their banner, that'll be an interesting feeling for sure. And I've talked to a few people that have played and coached in this game before, and just really the unanimous thing that they were talking about was it feels like playoff atmosphere. So we got to understand that going in, not get too high, not get too low, understand the flow of the game, and just try to put our best foot forward and try to win the game.
Like I said, that game is, of course, tonight on NBC. We've got day baseball going on right now in St. Louis where the Cardinals are up tied 4-4 with the Washington Nationals. Bottom of the first, 1 out, runner on first. Albert Pujols did start the game. He's 0 for 2 right now. But today is a Yadier Molina day. He is 2 for 2 right now with 3 RBIs and 2 home runs. He has 3 of the 4 Cardinals runs so far. Like I said, tied with the Nationals 4-4 in the bottom of the fourth. Other games going on around Major League Baseball. There's one other day game going on right now. If my computer will load.
I got it for you if you want.
Yeah, what's the other score?
Reds, Cubs, 0-0, third inning.
Well, is anybody shocked by that? 0-0 through 3 with the Reds and Cubs?
Most exciting matchup in the world for sure.
No, not a very one. Another day game getting started in about an hour and 20. You have the Brewers versus the Giants. And then tonight, Yankees-Twins would be a good matchup. And you got the second game of Giants and Brewers, which even though the Cardinals have a 9.5 game lead, I'm sure Cardinals fans will still keep an eye on the Brewers score. And the last thing you need to know for today, sorry, Phil, but speaking of the Nationals, they're actually the first team to be eliminated from playoff contention this season, not the Pirates. So the Pirates, they did not win the race to last place.
Not yet, at least.
Well, they're the first one eliminated. I mean, doesn't that kind of guarantee you the win?
You get 3-game differential between dead last Washington, and second to dead last Pittsburgh. So there's still a race to the bottom.
Technically, right now, there's actually a way to the top for Pittsburgh because they're not technically out of it yet.
They will be They were technically out. They were out of it last year. They were out of it this year, last year. That's basically the way things go with this team.
Such an anti-fan.
It's perfect. Yeah, I am the anti-fan. And I had to laugh earlier today. Clay, you can get in on this too. I was listening to the Morning Rush. Ty Richardson asked you what I think about the Steelers this year. So I don't even know if you and I have talked about that very much.
We have not.
We haven't.
So go ahead. What am I thinking about the Steelers, Drew?
Why do you do stuff like that?
He just asked me this morning.
A few years ago, he said, just before I came on, I'm going to ask Clay something. And then he said what I was going to say. And so when he asked me, I said, well, Ty, I don't really need to say. You already answered that.
Well, here's what I think. I think they're okay. I don't know what to expect out of the quarterback position.
No question.
I think Mitchell Trubisky could be good. I think he could be good. I mean, he was decent with the Chicago Bears for the most part. He just wasn't like, this guy's a star.
He's playing on a better team, Phil.
That's absolutely true. I mean, he was a second overall pick, if I remember.
Yep.
The defense is going to be good. I love Najee Harris. Offensive line is a major issue, though, and because of that, I mean, when you don't have an offensive line, really, I mean, what are you supposed to do? And I kind of wonder.
Throw on your back. I think that's going to be Spencer Rattler's deal this weekend.
Now that was where I was going to go with this next.
I'm sorry, I beat you to it.
But we know that the offensive line for South Carolina is returned from last year.
Suspect.
That doesn't really mean very good things for them. I wonder about this because I expect Arkansas to get some pressure on Spencer Rattler. But Sam Pittman has talked about how good Rattler is throwing on the run outside of the pocket. Clay, is it really important to try to bottle him up?
Oh, I think absolutely. I was going to say you want to trap him. He will not like that. You want to contain him. I mean, certainly you'd like to put him on his back.
You want to put him on his back, but put him on his back before he gets rid of the ball and not necessarily on the run, because they're saying that he's incredibly accurate in those situations. You get KJ out on the run, and he's really good too. I don't know how much of a runner Rattler is, and I think he's looking to throw it first and foremost on the run. With KJ, sometimes it's the other way around.
I got to warn Maddie that the Cleverleys are going to cover some songs that you would never guess, like they're going to cover a Justin Bieber song tonight. Or is it tomorrow night?
It's tomorrow night. I've actually seen them a few times before.
Oh, so you get
I'm
it,
familiar. Yeah, I'm all about it.
Maddie, what are the chances that they cover a Weird Al song?
Oh man, I don't think so. They won't.
You can't.
Do they take requests? Can you yell at the stage?
They probably would.
They got their own. They
got their set list. Yeah.
And they're going to crank up low. That's their favorite.
Yeah, I use that as a comeback. So
I've heard that one.
The main guy is a stand-up comedian too. So in between songs, he tells a lot of jokes and stories and stuff.
They are extremely talented. Extremely talented.
A couple of weeks ago in Little Rock, I saw "Here Come the Mummies."
I saw them last year in Oklahoma too.
I mean, they're comedic.
Really yeah,
that was comedic.
But man, they were good. They're talented.
Well, they also had Sax Squatch open for them, a guy that looked like a Wookiee that I'd guess was playing the saxophone. I don't know, because I never saw his lips move. Usually that's how I know that someone's doing something. All right, we've
got
reached
about
the end of it.
15 Cleverly songs on my phone. I might listen to some of them as I drive into the mountains tomorrow.
Well, Clay,
I'll probably be listening to George Strait.
Have a great trip. I know you will. And we'll have Clay on a couple of Mondays. But we're back with you tomorrow. It'll be just me and Drew. Maddie, have a great weekend. And for Drew, I'm Phil. Get up, get out, get better.
Flu season will be here before you know it, and Law's Drug Store in Fort Smith has the regular and 65-plus senior flu shots ready now to care for you and your family. Law's Drug Store has COVID vaccinations and boosters available for ages